to consider whether it should be viewed.
Three in a row, swing and a miss. Fastball in on his hands, 1-2 on Jose.
Well, he said he's also been kind of the victim of a lot of bad luck, too, and a lot of balls that could have been caught that weren't and didn't go down as errors. They were, we know that song. We've seen that before.
Into his motion is Hernandez. Back he comes 1-2. The ball slugged deep left center field. That ball's up. That's heading for the wall and bounces off the top of it. Base hit. Bautista strolls into second. Just missed a home run. Jose at second base is pointing out into left center field, and right now it looks like it's just going to be a double, and that close to clearing that rail there that's painted yellow atop the fence. Jennings went back, and it just missed being a home run by about 2 feet.
Yeah, there's a funny little angle out there. It's 370 in the alley in left center, and it goes out towards center field, and all of a sudden the fence actually drops down about 3 feet, and then it goes jets back out towards center field, and he hit it right up in that corner where if he would have hit it maybe 4 feet to the right, it would have been out. Now the umpires are actually getting together to discuss if they saw it go over or trying to get it right, I guess.
Well, this is one situation, unlike last night, where the video replay clearly shows it hit the top of the wall. Now, they're going to review it, but that's going to come and stay as a double. John Gibbons was asking them for a review, but on the replay, it's clear that the ball hit even the padding of the top of the wall, didn't even make it to that little chain link fence that's about 2 feet above the wall, and a good call.
Well, maybe they thought a fan reached over and interfered, though, and
well,
either way, I don't think it's going to matter.
On the replay, there was no fan involved in that situation. Now, we can tell you this, in talking to Colby Rasmus at the batting cage tonight, regarding that Kelly Johnson fly ball last night that was also reviewed. Cole said, no, I just lost it. I lost it when I went up around the catwalk. Melky Cabrera in left field told me later it didn't hit anything. He said, I just lost it. And last year, Colby was here, too, and lost a ball off the bat of B.J. Upton. So it's happened to him twice here in 2 years. But that was a call that when they reviewed it, they didn't see any video that proved to the contrary, so they had to go with a call. And here they come out and indicate a double for Jose. Mm-hmm. They got it right.
They usually kind of come out a little bit prouder. Their chests are out, their chins are up. When they make that call the correct way, they look at the manager who kind of questions their authority and say, you can go ahead and go back to the dugout. We got it right.
Well, the main thing is they took a look at it, wanted to make sure.
And they got it right.
They did. And this is a tricky dome here, so it's better to be safe than sorry. And now with 2 down, and Hernandez, remember, had to watch and wait. We'll see if that affects him. We're in the first inning, just getting started. 2 ground outs. Now Bautista with a double, and here's Edwin. He takes inside ball 1. For Bautista, he came up hitting just .228. That is his 5th double. Encarnacion is hitting .222. 9 home runs, 21 RBIs. He and Aaron Sebia each with 9 home runs to lead the club. Edwin the RBI leader. Fastball strike on the inside corner. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Now Edwin's had a tough May. 4 for 25, 1 run batted in. Remember, the Blue Jays have had a real struggle this year scoring first. Came back yesterday after the Rays scored first with their 7-run 3rd inning. Edwin takes down and in. Blue Jays, they played in now 33 games, and when scoring first, they've only done that 12 times, or 7 and 5. With the win yesterday, still 21 games the opponents have scored first of those 33, and the Blue Jays just 5 and 16. So you're looking for a big 2-out hit here to get in flight to start this one. Edwin swings and misses on. Changeup, great pitch under his back, 2-2.
Well, Hernandez showing that he can change speeds here early in the game today. His fastball has been in the low 90s, like we had talked about. His changeups kind of in the mid to low 80s, so there's a 10-mile-an-hour speed differential.
He takes the stretch on the hill. A look at second. The 2-2 delivery inside, jumping away from it is Edwin. Talk about some bad luck, too. Hernandez has come in here. Hernandez is officially making his 6th start. He's made another one. That was in Kansas City, a game that he pitched 4 innings, and then the game was postponed due to rain, and that was completely washed off the books, but it cost him a start. So here he is, ready on the hill. The 3-2 pitch to Edwin, fouled off back to the screen. Nice catch by J.Pierre Encibia with a bare right hand.
Yeah, the game was snowed out. I imagine it was white on the fields where they couldn't see the baselines, and I think if I was him, I would have just taken a shovel and maybe dug that line black and said, well, now it's just the other colors. Let's go ahead and finish an inning so I can get a game.
Did you ever have a start like that you couldn't finish because of the weather?
No, there was only one time in my life that we were snowed out. It was when I was in high school. I wasn't a pitcher back then, but we literally could not see the baselines.
There goes Jose, 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and the inning is over. Jose Bautista double and nothing more. Bottom of the first we go. Rays coming up, brought to you by Home Hardware. This is the Blue Jays Radio Network.
You're our system keeps our province strong. Learn more at abetterenergyplan.ca. The Power Workers Union. The people who help keep the lights on.
This inning is brought to you by your Honda dealers. Bottom of the first inning at Tropicana Field. Blue Jays did not score. Rays coming up. Jay Happ 2-2. Best ERA among the 5 starters. And now 6 with Ricky Romero replacing Josh Johnson. 3.98. Ricky, by the way, is going to start here tomorrow night. He gets a tough left-hander in young Matt Moore, who's 5-0 with an ERA of 1.95. And then R.A. Dickey here Thursday night against David Price, a matchup of Cy Young Award winners from last year. Well, here's Desmond Jennings, right-handed hitter, leadoff man. Happ's first pitch lifted into center field. Colby Rasmus drifts a bit into right center, looks up into the roof, makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out, and thought of you right away, Jack Morris. First inning, first pitch. Happ's aggressive. That's what you like.
Well, he has a chance to finish the game with 27 pitches, so that's about as good as it gets right there.
Well, I know you like to see that rather than ball 1, ball 2.
Well, I know Pete Walker addressed that to him in between his start last time and this one here tonight, and told Jay to be more aggressive and try not to worry so much about it. He says he's really hard on himself, and I know a guy that was like that once, and you got to just sort of overcome that and just understand that your ability can take over and you can't do anything more than that.
Right-hand hitting Ryan Roberts takes a first pitch strike. In Jay's last start Thursday at home against the Red Sox, what Jack's alluding to, 7 walks. That tied his career high. He went 3 2/3 innings through 95 pitches, 48 balls, 47 strikes. And the Red Sox won it 3-1. Roberts hits one foul down the right-hand side. That's twisting toward the Rays bullpen, and moving over as long and as hard as he could was Bautista. He couldn't quite get there. It's 0-2. 3 pitches, 3 strikes.
No, he's being aggressive. He's just throwing fastballs so far. He's got good movement. He's one of those guys we've said before that the ball sneaks up on you. That hitters don't see it real well out of his hand. He's got one of those deception kind of moves, even though he's right over the top.
Roberts hitting .237. The strike 2 pitch is high. As caught by J.Pierre Encibia. Blue Jays wearing their blue shirts and caps. Brett Laurie at third, Munenori Kawasaki at short. Meister is Turris at second with Edwin Encarnacion at first. Melky Cabrera in left, Colby Rasmussen center, Jose Bautista in right. Happ is low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The DH is Adam Lind. He's sitting 6th. The bench of Henry Blanco, Rajay Davis, and Mark DeRosa, 3 right-handed hitters, and the switch-hitting speedster Emilio Bonifacio, who factored in last night in the 9th with a stolen base. 2-2 pitch driven up the gap into right center field. Long run Colby. He won't get there. That's a base hit. Hits the fence on a bounce. Rasmus picks it up on the track. Roberts around second. The relay comes in, and around second, just getting back, is Roberts as the throw got right over the head of his turret, but backing up Kawasaki, and he took that throw at the second base bag and had a play on Roberts.
Roberts had a notion to try to stretch it out into a triple, and then he hit the brakes. The way the ball was hit, It was actually hit like a good sinker. It was fading away from Kobe. He had a good route on it. Kobe Rasmus could not catch up to it because it was kind of tailing away from him into the gap.
Now in this bottom of the first inning, Blue Jays nothing, Rays nothing. Tampa Bay with a one-out double. The Blue Jays had a two-out double in the person of Bautista. Encarnacion then struck out against Roberto Hernandez. Here's Ben Zobrist. Switch hitter. Takes strike one called. He's up here batting right-handed. Now right-handed, he's hitting .324. That's in just 37 at-bats. Hitting just .230 in 74 at-bats. Left-handed, an overall .261 mark. He's a good one, Ben Zobrist. It's a little ground ball foul back behind home plate. Rolls to the backstop, 0-2 on that curveball by Happ.
It took a little something off that. It was at 74 miles an hour. Again, Pete Walker suggesting that he try to mix in the off-speed pitch with the fastball early in the game. Try to get a better feel for things.
Here's your RBI leader for the Rays with 21. He did not play yesterday. His grandmother passed away a couple of days ago. He's been absent on the field the last two games. Happ looks at second. Spins on the rubber. Ryan Roberts holds his ground at second. As the crowd yells balk. Zobrist has hit 3 home runs. All of them batting left-handed. Here he is batting right-handed. His Turris at second keeps the runner close. The stretch. Strike 2 pitch outside. This is Happ's 7th start. 3rd career start against Tampa Bay in his career. 0-1. ERA 8.68. His last start was against the Rays right here last August. He lost 4-1. He went just 4 1/3 innings. Gave up 4 runs on 7 hits. He looks at second, and back he comes. A pop-up hit into shallow right field as Turris goes out, coming on Bautista. They come together, and Jose makes the catch. Steps over the fallen body of his Turris. Holding his ground at second is Roberts as Turris gets up, and he's lucky he wasn't spiked there by Jose. 2 down.
Well, if Meister's going to call that ball, he's got to get his arms up in the air quicker, because Jose Bautista has got to keep his eye on the ball. That's one thing about this ballpark. For an outfielder, you can't take your eyes off the ball. You'll lose it because of the crazy dimensions of the different catwalks, plus the fact that it's kind of gray up there. So they got to keep their eye on the ball, and that means the infielder's got to wave them off quickly.
Blue Jays nothing, Rays nothing. Bottom of the first here in St. Pete. Evan Longoria, the batter. He takes a breaking ball outside, ball 1. And remember, Jack, it was against Cleveland that Bautista hit the first base bag, awkwardly twisted his ankle, didn't play in the Boston series at home, and just think, looking up and then rolling an ankle over a body underneath you. Longoria takes it outside. That would be easy to do to hurt yourself as well.
Well, 2 people could get hurt for that.
That's right. Bautista with the legs and then perhaps spiking someone like his Turris. So Blue Jays catch a break here. No one hurt. The Rays have scored 27 first-inning runs this year. That leads the major leagues. And Longoria last night came up with 2 on and 1 out in the first inning, and on the first pitch popped up to second. Mark Burley would eventually get James Loney as well, leaving 2 on. The Rays didn't score in the first, but they did score 7 in the third. And after that, the Blue Jays rallied with 8 unanswered runs to win it in dramatic fashion, 8-7. Here a day later, Happ is set. First base open. Roberts the lead at second. Fastball strike on the outside corner. Throw to second. A high throw, leaping is Turris, and comes down right near the bag. As sliding under him was Roberts. Longoria with a grand slam yesterday in that 7-run third inning. He leads the Rays in home runs. He has 7. He's driven in 19. 2 behind Zobrist, 21 for the club lead. Happ kicks. Comes in low, ball 3. And on deck is Luke Scott, a left-handed hitter. So he's certainly going to pitch carefully to Longoria, not make a mistake here. Sometimes in situations like this where it's 3-0, the manager just calls for an intentional ball 4. Longoria will give it a shot if it's anywhere around the plate. And the pitch is inbound. Fastball. He takes it for a strike. 3-2.
Right there was a fastball that was up kind of in the upper half of the strike zone. Longoria looked like he was looking down. And good hitters will take the pitch if it's not exactly where they want it.
Well, maybe flirting with a little danger there, and that 3-1 fastball in the zone is happy. Set again. And now the full count pitch. Breaking ball just outside. Snapped in a curveball that looked pretty good and just missed the mark as judged by the plate ump Marty Foster.
Luke Scott.
Well, Jay Happ kind of took a step towards the dugout. I think he thought that ball caught the corner. Marty Foster staring right back at him as if to say, what are you questioning me?
And actually, that was a pretty good pitch on 3-2. Kept it away. It was down. Just missed with it. Could have rung him up. And now he gets the left-handed hitting Luke Scott, who was a big part of the 7-run third inning last night. He polished it off with a 2-run home run deep to right off the lefty Mark Burley. No score first inning. Blue Jays and Rays. 2 on 2 outs for Tampa Bay. A first pitch strike. Scott missed the first 25 games, was on the DL. He comes up here hitting .462 in the 6 games since his return. A home run last night, his second. And he's driven in 4. The runners lead. Happ is low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Scott had a right calf strain that put him on the disabled list. When you miss 25 games, remember, you really have had very little spring training. And now you're trying to catch up again. So he's done a pretty good job catching up. He waits the delivery. It's in the dirt, blocked beautifully by Aaron Sebia. 2 balls and 1 strike. Last night, only 9,952 fans, and looks to be about the same here tonight. The Rays have been playing before 20,447 a game. A long first inning here for Happ, trying to keep the Rays off the scoreboard. He deals to Luke, swing and a miss, and a swing and a foul back to the screen, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, Pat Tabler and I had a long talk with Luke Scott around the batting cage today during the Rays batting practice. And of course, Tabby and Luke were talking hitting, and he was given an explanation of why he was hitting in the offseason with a 2x4. And it was quite interesting. I wish I could explain it better, but you almost need to demonstrate it instead of talk about it.
Happ set, looks at second, deals, swing and a foul back again.
What he was trying to really do is have a longer session of his bat in the strike zone instead of pulling off quickly and turning his wrists over. And by using a 2x4, in order to make solid contact, he had to drag his lead hand longer and get his hand out further away from his body before his wrist turned over.
And here trying to apply it now with a bat in hand. Luke Scott. Roberts at second, a 1-out double. Longoria at first. He drew a 2-out walk first inning. 2-2 pitch. Slider hit on the ground right to second. As Turris has it. Waits for Edwin to get to the bag. Throws over. The inning is over. So Jay Happ comes out of it, leaving 2 men on. At the end of 1, settle in. Great to have you with us here tonight at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. No score, Blue Jays and Rays, brought to you by Home Hardware. This is the Blue Jays Radio Network. Fans, be sure and keep up with everything Blue Jays with Brady and Lang in the mornings, 5:30 to 9 weekdays on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and Sportsnet590.ca. Second inning, Blue Jays nothing, Rays nothing. Tall right-hander Roberto Hernandez with a first pitch that's inside to J. Pierre and Sebia. He'll be followed by Adam Lind and Colby Rasmus. JP with his 9th home run last night in the 9th inning to win it 8-7. He's driven in 18. Fouls one off. Mike, what else is up on that Sportsnet out-of-town scoreboard? Brought to you by StubHub.
Well, it's
fastball strike.
Minnesota and Boston, 0-0. That's in the top of the second. A battle of Canadians. Scott Diamond of Guelph, Ryan Dempster from Gibsons, BC. In the National League, they're waiting out the rain in Cincinnati. Reds and Braves haven't gotten started yet.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss on a changeup. Down goes Aaron Sevilla. 1 down.
We have 5 scheduled interleague games tonight. 2 of them going on right now. The Pittsburgh Pirates lead the Seattle Mariners 2-0 in the bottom of the second on back-to-back RBI doubles by Travis Snyder and Andrew McCutchen. 0-0 White Sox and Mets. That's in the top of the second. The Tigers and Nationals have been rained out in Washington tonight.
Here's Adam Lind, second inning. Blue Jays nothing, Rays nothing. Adam takes strike one called.
And on the ice, game 4 of their first round series, the Habs and the Senators, 0-0, 6 minutes to go in the first period.
Thank you, Mike. Right here, Adam DHing. Last night went 1 for 4. He fouls one off to the left-hand side with a good rip. No balls and 2 strikes. Lind hitting .228. And Jack, go figure, when you talk about walks, 16 as opposed to only 9 strikeouts, and yet, especially for a designated hitter, no home runs, only 3 RBIs. Unusual, to be sure. The strike 2 pitch is high.
Well, Adam's been up in the 2 hole as a DH. That's kind of unusual sometimes, and he's been down 5th and 6th in the lineup at times, so he's been all over that lineup.
Hernandez back, low and outside changeup. He throws a lot of changeups. It's 2-2. Hernandez struck out Encarnacion to end the first inning, leaving Jose Bautista's 2-out double on. Now he opens up the second here, striking out Aaron Sevilla. Back he comes to Adam. The pitch is fouled off right-hand side. Got a kick out of you talking about Luke Scott and talking to you and Pat Tamler before the game about using a 2x4 in the offseason to work out the mechanics of his swing. Reminded me of Norm Cash at Tiger Stadium years ago. When
I know where you're going with this.
When the Tigers were facing Nolan Ryan, no one could hit him, and Cash came up in the 8th inning with a piano leg, and the umpire said, "What are you doing?" And Cash said, "Well, nothing else is working." 2-2 pitch belted to right field. Back for it is Obrist. There goes number 1 for Adam Lind. The Blue Jays are in flight. They lead Tampa Bay 1-0 here in the second inning.
Well, we talk about Adam with no home runs, and sure enough, he goes and shows us that he can do that. That was more of a line drive, kind of a gap-type hit, but he shot it right over the head of the right fielder, Ben Zobrist, and good for him. He's on the board.
Jack, they might review that. Did you notice Adam had a piano leg when he came to the plate?
It worked.
Well, he hit it like it was a big piano leg. Adam Lind gets the piano off his back with that first home run. And here now is Colby Rasmus. He hit one here last night with a man aboard. He's got 5 now. A strike call from Hernandez. So the Blue Jays here score first. And as we said, they've only done that now 13 times, 7-5 in the previous 12. Rasmus hitting .248. Hernandez delivers outside. That was a sweet swing, wasn't it?
Well, he worked the count quite well. Finally got a pitch where he wanted it. And he deposited that hard into right field. That was the 6th home run given up by Roberto Hernandez.
Colby takes a fastball there. Strike on the outside corner. And again, fastball-like arm speed, and yet a changeup. He's thrown a lot of 84 and 85 mile an hour changeups here. It's a big man, as we said, Roberto Hernandez. Now, he had the fabulous year with Cleveland back in 2007. Back he comes 1-2, and the ball driven to center field. That's hit deep but playable. Back to get it, Desmond Jennings. He's there, makes the catch. 2 down. Back in 07 with Cleveland, he was then known as Fausto Carmona. And actually, last year he did not start with the Rays until August due to visa issues stemming from an offseason false identity arrest in the Dominican Republic. That was because he came in trying to show that he was younger to make himself more attractive and used a false identity to do that, and they finally caught up to it and him. Here's Meiser's tourist, and he fouls one back. But to the point of that season in 07, regardless of the name, he was 19-8, had an ERA of 3.06, and opponents hit just 2.48 off him. Since, he's 34-55 with an ERA of 5.07. There's a strike called 0-2, and something happened to him after that one great year.
Yeah, he has had command issues. Here was a guy that has always thrown hard, but for 1 year anyway, he was pounding the strike zone.
He's in low, 1-2.
And then all of a sudden he lost his command, and now he doesn't throw as hard. He still throws plenty hard to win games with his movement.
And back he comes. The ball chipped foul to the screen. Nice job by his tourist to protect. Meiser is hitting .210 overall, but in his last 8 games, he has really picked up the pace. He's 10 for 32, hitting .313. Meiser, last night 1 for 5, singled and scored on the home run by Mark DeRosa. Ball driven to right field down the line. That's a base hit. That'll hook into the corner. Meiser cuts the corner of the bag at first, on his way to second. Ben Zobrist returns it back to the infield where it's cut by Roberts. And there's his tourist hitting again. A solid 2-out double.
Shortstop, number 66, Munenori Kawasaki.
Well, after a slow start, Meiser looks much better.
He seems to be a lot more comfortable at the plate. It's funny because I overheard a conversation about a week and a half ago. Meiser was kind of a little bit lost, and he was telling Buck Martinez around the batting cage one day, he says, I'm seeing the ball really well. And he said, I feel like I'm lost. I can't hit anything, but I see it. And Buck just told him, he smiled, he says, well, just keep swinging. If you're seeing it well, it's going to come around. And of course, in the last week or so, it really has.
Now Munenori Kawasaki up, takes strike one called. We're in the top of the second inning on an Adam Lind home run, 1-0 Blue Jays. Kawasaki punches one foul off to the left back into the crowd. It's 0-2. Had a nice visit with both manager Joe Madden of the Rays and Meiser. And when Meiser first broke in with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim back in 2005, Joe Madden was with the Angels. He was Mike Scioscia's bench coach. Had been for quite a while. Strike 2 pitch fouled off again, third base side, still 0-2. And they became fast friends then. If you know Joe, you become a friend of his right away. And Joe spent 33 years in the Angels organization before he got this job here, and look what he's done with it.
Yeah, that's a lifelong baseball man right there.
And truly a man for all seasons. He's so well read, and we're talking about other areas. He gets involved with charities in his hometown in Pennsylvania. Strike 2 pitches inside, backhanded by Molina.
He's got a pretty simple philosophy about pitching that I bought into right away. We can't say all of it on the air, but bottom line is he doesn't really like guys picking at corners. He wants you to challenge hitters and go after them. If you have enough stuff and you don't throw fastballs and you're a fastball pitcher, you end up losing your fastball. And he preached that today to us.
Hernandez has already thrown 41 pitches. The 1-2 pitch, strike 3 called. Caught him looking inside corner with a fastball. The inning is over. But with 1 out, Adam Lind's first home run of the season. A line drive to right puts the Blue Jays on the board. As we go to the bottom of the second, Blue Jays 1, Rays nothing. Brought to you by Home Hardware. This is the Blue Jays Radio Network.
Spring has sprung.
Bottom of the second inning at Tropicana Field, 1-0 Blue Jays for Jay Happ. Here is Sean Rodriguez, right-handed hitter. Fastball strike on the inside corner. Rodriguez will be followed by James Loney, who today turns 29, and then Jose Molina, 6, 7, and 8 hitters in Joe Madden's lineup. Happ is in low. Jays survived a scoreless first inning, a 1-out double by Ryan Roberts, and a 2-out walk issued to Evan Longoria brought up Luke Scott, who grounded out to second. And we're in the bottom of the second. Happ is in low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Adam Lind watching from that third base dugout. The designated hitter parking one to right. Rodriguez lines one to left field, coming over quickly and can't get there. It's Melky. Ball goes by him all the way to the wall. He picks it up on the track. Rodriguez into second with a leadoff double. Welcome to our Sportsnet 5-9 to the Fan broadcast booth, brought to you by Canon Canada. Make the move to digital SLR photography with the new Canon Rebel T5i digital SLR camera. It's a perfect camera for everything from pro sports to your kids' sports. So visit canon.ca/features to learn more about the Rebel T5i and all of the other game-changing DSLRs from Canon. Loney comes up. Left-handed hitter. Happ looks back at second. A fastball just misses outside. Loney yesterday came in hitting .398. He went 1 for 4 with a double. 7 3-hit games this year. That leads the major leagues. Loney hitting .391. Happ's pitch popped up, foul, back out of play. And we might add here too, Jack. Second inning, early in the game, 1-0 Blue Jays. Runner at second, nobody out. Hot hitting left-handed hitter. You would assume that this is the case where you put aside trying to just get the runner over. Here he's trying to get a base hit and knock him in.
Yeah, early in the ball game, they're confident that they're going to score a few runs, so they're going to let their big boppers swing the bat.
Happ to his hitter. Foul off left-hand side again, 1-2. There's a time and a place to get a runner over, and this doesn't appear to be one of those.
It usually doesn't happen until after the 5th inning in close ball games that managers start playing that percentage game stuff. They'd just prefer their guys go up there swinging and see if they can move the runners along with their bats.
Now Loney asks for time, and he gets it.
Well, Happ's been pitching Loney away. It'll be interesting to see if they try to come back in at all.
Leads the team with 9 doubles. Pitch line to center field. That's a base hit. Rodriguez around third, held by the coach, Tom Foley. And the ball dropped by Encarnacion. It rolls over the mound toward the plate, but the runners hold as Edwin picks it up. Rays at first and third.
Kobe Rasmus doing a real good job of charging that ball and getting rid of it quickly. And Tom Foley, third base coach for Tampa, has to hold up Sean Rodriguez because of the hustle by center fielder Kobe Rasmus.
So there's the first birthday gift tonight for Loney, who, as we said, turns 29. Rays at first and third. And that 1-0 Blue Jays lead here in the second in severe jeopardy. The batter, Jose Molina. Now the Blue Jays will play the infield back. If Molina hits a ball on the ground, chances are high for a double play. Concede a run, try and cut into a budding rally. We'll see what happens. Molina takes strike one called.
I'll start him off with a changeup right there. Jay Happ just made a mistake to Loney. He left that ball right over the middle of the plate. And Loney's been red hot. He didn't miss it.
Jose hitting just 183. Last night 0 for 4 and grounded out to short 3 times, then lined out the left center. He bunts and spun it up along first. Here comes the runner to the plate. The shovel throw, the tag, and he missed the plate. Rodriguez is tagged out by J.P. Arancibia. Runners at first and third. The umpire, Marty Foster, was the ticket there. He did not budge because he saw Rodriguez cross the plate and missed it, in his opinion. Joe Madden will argue it.
Yeah, Joe Madden's out there going to argue, but that's not going to work real well. That was an outstanding play right there by Edwin Encarnacion. He barehanded the ball. He threw a perfect strike to J.P. Arancibia, who was really in front of the plate, and he came back. We're going to see it in slow motion, and he's right. Well, he might not be right. The fingertips hit the very tip of home plate. J.P. missed him. So Joe Madden has a reason to argue, but they're not going to review it. We saw it in slow motion. He saw it at full speed, meaning home plate umpire Marty Foster.
And there's your difference, Jack. Joe Madden has been tossed from the game. He was right. Marty Foster was wrong. But in baseball, that's where the human element comes in. We're privy to the replay of it, and he just did with his fingertips get the tip of the back part of the plate.
Well, where Marty Foster was positioned, he was in a great position to see the call. The problem is J.P. Arancebia's glove was over the left outstretched hand of the runner, Sean Rodriguez. So he was not able to see that he touched the plate. I mean, it was a reason for that. Of course, the fans are going to see it in in-house television, and that's why they're booing.
And I'll tell you what, on the head-first slide by Sean Rodriguez, what a beautiful slide it was to no avail. So the upshot of it all, it remains Blue Jays 1, Rays nothing. That's the first out here in the bottom of the second inning. Still Rays at first and third as Loney went first to third on that play at the plate. Jose Molina's at first. Here's Yunel Escobar, the right-handed hitting shortstop, hitting ninth. Happ set. Delivers. The ball fouled off to the right-hand side. Down the line it goes. Strike one.
And Jay Happ's going to try to roll a ground ball right here with Escobar at the plate, Molina at first. There's a good chance that if the ball is hit sharply at a position player in the infield, he could get a double play ball and get out of the inning.
And Jack, you're so right too about that bunted ball up along first and the marvelous play that Edwin Encarnacion made to make it close as it was.
That was a great play by Edwin.
Happ set. Back he comes. The ball fouled off again, right hand side. That'll climb upstairs. 0-2. Edwin charged, barehanded, underhand toss to Aranceibia, and then after Marty Foster didn't make a call, then Aranceibia went after Rodriguez behind the plate and tagged him out. We'll see if that factors into this game later on when it's all said and done. Strike two pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt, smothered by Aranceibia. This gets back to, again, Edwin Encarnacion, who was not very good at third. And when he moved to first base, boy, did he open eyes the last couple of years. His first base play has been stellar.
And you can't ask for him to make a better play than that, especially the fact that he barehanded it through a perfect strike to J.P.
1-2 pitch. In the dirt, gets away from Aranceibia. Here comes the runner sprinting home. Loney comes in to score standing up. Up to second goes Molina, and this game is tied 1-1. A wild pitch for Jay Happ.
Well, it's going to be ruled a wild pitch, but there is no excuse that the catcher doesn't block that ball. He's got to get his body out there. He knows the situation. That's the case where he's just got to put his body in front of it, knock it down with a runner at third base.
Now a runner at second base, a run in. And Yunel with a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Happ set. There he comes, low and outside, change up, and Yunel wouldn't bite. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Happ here laboring in this inning. For Happ, that is his second wild pitch of the season. This one cost him a run. The stretch. Look at second. Full count pitch. Grounded up the middle. It's through into center field. A base hit. Molina getting the wave home. Now stopped by his coach. And Rasmus throw sails high up along first. Taken by Aranceibia. But going into second on that poor throw is Escobar. The Rays have runners at second and third. Well, there's a case where Jose Molina is very slow. Third base coach Tom Foley wisely held him. And then Rasmus uncorked a very poor throw to the plate, allowing Escobar to go another 90 feet.
Well, when Escobar is running down the line, he sees the ball about 60 feet in the air. He knows that he can keep running because there's no cutoff man that can jump that high.
Not a good throw, and the batter now, Desmond Jennings. This game is tied 1-1 here in St. Pete, second inning. Runners at second and third, so a key moment in the game for Happ. He is in low, ball one, with his 39th pitch. Just 23 strikes, 16 balls.
And this is exactly what Jay Happ needs to work on, is game management, in-game management, avoiding the multi-run inning in situations where he just throws too many pitches.
Happ set. Back he comes. Fastball hit late and foul. Upstairs, right-hand side. 1-1. And how fortunate are the Blue Jays? Remember, one of the 2 outs here, in fact, the only out here in this inning is the missed call at the plate by Marty Foster. That's it. 3 hits in the inning and the fielder's choice bunted ball. Happ is low and inside, 2-1. In Happ's last start, he pitched just 3 2/3 innings and threw 95 pitches. And the tall left-hander ready. Deals in the dirt, blocked by Aaron Sebia. 3-1.
Well, we're only 1 out into the second inning. He's already got 42 pitches. So, again, Jay Happ just throwing way too many pitches. Getting in trouble because of it.
And this is one of those innings, too, where the Blue Jays had just scored on Adam Lynn's home run to right to make it 1-0 in the top of the second. Now we're in the bottom half. Pitch is lined off the head of Jay Happ. The ball rolls down the right field line, but Happ is in agony on the mound. 1 run comes in to score. Another run comes in to score. And Jay Happ is hurt. The runner ends up at third base, Desmond Jennings. And on a line drive hit what appeared to be right off the head of Jay Happ, Tampa Bay scores 2 more to lead 3-1, but that is now very insignificant for what just happened.
In the bottom of the first. Other interleague play. White Sox and Mets 0-0 in the top of the fourth. Matt Harvey is perfect through 3, and the Tigers and the Nationals were rained out.
So everybody take a deep breath and pray for one Jay Happ, who was just taken off the field here on a stretcher, having just been hit in the head with a line drive off the bat of Desmond Jennings, who ended up at third, driving in 2 with what has to be scored a triple. And Brad Lincoln now to face Ryan Roberts. Infield drawn in 1 out second inning, and the pitch is outside, ball 1. And really from here on out, as we said, the game becomes very immaterial. Roberts doubled to right center field back in the first inning. Jennings down from third, the stretch by Lincoln.
He was delayed 11 minutes.
And a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. The veteran Brad Lincoln pitching here with a couple of days rest. Lincoln as a Blue Jay in 4 games, ERA 4.76. He's 0-1. Back he comes with a high fastball at 92. 2 balls and 1 strike. Lincoln's worked just 5 2/3 innings and summoned from Buffalo a couple of times. The last for the injured Josh Johnson. He's given up 3 runs on 3 hits. He has struck out 6 in 5 2/3, but he's walked 4. Back he comes, fastball away, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. So Jay Happ at this point goes an inning and a third. His book's still not closed. He's got Jennings at third base. Jay gives up 3 runs on the 5 hits, no strikeouts, 1 walk, had a wild pitch. Lincoln set. His fastball strike on the inside corner at the knees, and there Roberts took off toward first base and yanked back by the plate umpire Marty Foster. It's 3-2.
Well, in yesterday's game, Roberts was struck out once in the 7th inning where he was walking out just like that, and Mike Everett rang him up.
And the full count pitch. Ground ball between third and short. That's a base hit out into left field. Jogging home is Jennings, and the Rays go out in front 4-1, as that now will close Jay Happ's books for the night.
Right fielder, Ben Zobrist.
Ben Zobrist comes up. Zobrist flied out to shallow right center field in the first inning. Now that was batting right-handed against the lefty Happ. Now he turns around to bat left-handed against the right-hander Lincoln. Infield looking for a double play ground ball. Roberts the lead at first. Lincoln, the high leg kick. He's in with a strike on the inside corner. Roberts has not attempted a stolen base. Lincoln can be prone to the and vulnerable to the stolen base. He does have a high leg kick, not a lot of a slide step there to help his catcher. There's a quick move and throw to first, and diving back in is Roberts. Lincoln had come into this game having stranded all 8 runners he had inherited this season, so this is the first of 9 that he allows to score, and if he keeps that up, that'll be one of the best marks in the league. Glove it the way. So the runner goes, stepping off the rubber. Lincoln, throw to second. Kawasaki runs Roberts back to first. The tag by Encarnacion to get him for the second out. A great move there by Lincoln as the runner was going. He was alerted to that fact by his teammates and was able to get him in a rundown.
Right there, Roberts was going before first move. He's basically anticipating that Brad Lincoln is going to go home, and Lincoln just had that long pause. A lot of times that's why they encourage pitchers to hold.
Fastball outside.
Roberts just couldn't stand it anymore. He took off running.
So score that is caught stealing, and numerically it goes 1-6-3. Lincoln to the shortstop Kawasaki to Encarnacion at first to tag out Roberts. And Zobrist takes inside. So in this inning, we've had a Ray thrown out at the plate on a missed call, really, by Marty Foster. And now a Ray thrown out between first and second here in this rundown. Tampa Bay here with a 4-run, 5-hit second inning. Zobrist grounds one to the mound. High chopper behind the mound. Lincoln can't get it. Laurie does. Quick throw to first, not in time. An infield hit chopped off the plate by Zobrist.
Well, absolutely nothing the infielders could do about that. That's another one of those balls that are just banged down onto that plate. It's in the air. It's got way too much hang time. Comes down right behind the mound. Nothing they could do.
And the 8th man to come up here in this Rays second inning is Evan Longoria, runner at first base. Now Zobrist will steal a base for you. You've got to watch him. He's 2 for 2. Rays have a 4-1 lead here. We're just in the bottom of the second inning. Lincoln set. High leg kick. A strike called. And with that high leg kick, you certainly would anticipate Zobrist making maybe a bid to steal second base here. Manager Joe Madden has always run liberally with his team. We'll see. Zobrist gets the lead, the stretch. Lincoln, long look. High leg kick, and Longoria takes a strike. It's 0-2. Nice curveball. This inning starts with, really in the top of the second inning, Adam Lind with a 1-out home run drilled to right field. His first home run of the year to make it 1-0 Blue Jays. But here in the bottom of the second inning, the Rays have rallied for 4. And part of that, of course, Desmond Jennings lining one right off the head of Jay Happ. And Happ, 11 minutes later, as the game was waiting for the attendants and everybody else to take him off the field, left on a stretcher behind home plate. The strike 2 pitch hit on the ground to short. Backhanded in the hole by Kawasaki from shallow left field. A throw to second in time to end the inning. Pretty play by Kawasaki to get Zobrist, and the inning is over. Well, the Rays get 4. But our thoughts are with Jay Happ. We go to the third inning. Tampa Bay leads the Blue Jays 4-1. Brought to you by Home Hardware. This is the Blue Jays Radio Network. And don't forget to submit your questions to our baseball experts. Email AskTheExperts at sportsnet.ca and then listen later in our game for our Home Hardware Ask the Experts segment. We go to the top of the third inning. The Blue Jays trail the Rays now 4-1. Top of the order, Brett Lawrie, Melky Cabrera, and Jose Bautista against Roberto Hernandez. Hernandez has given up 3 hits, all extra bases. Jose Bautista, 2-out double in the first. Adam Lind, a 1-out home run to right with no one on in the second, and later followed by a 2-out double by Maestas Torres. Well, here's Brett. He grounded out to third first time up. He takes low, ball one. Hernandez comes back down around the knees. Nice off-speed pitch, little slider there. 1 ball and 1 strike. This game started with both Laurie and Cabrera grounding out, and that is not a surprise from this right-hander. Pitch is low. His career 2.46 ground ball to fly ball ratio, 4th in the majors since his debut back in 06. And this year he's got a 2.29 ground balls to fly ball outs, which is 3rd in the American League. 2-1 pitch fouled off left-hand side. That gets back, Jack, to what you were saying, that his record of 1-4, ERA 5.28, very misleading.
Well, and it also indicates that he does have that good sinker working. And again, talking to the pitching coach, Jim Hickey, he said if you see Roberto Hernandez giving up a lot of fly balls, it's usually not a good sign.
And there he misses, but he misses low, 3-2. So as far as fly balls, have there been any? 1. Colby Rasmus flied out to center. That's it. 3 strikeouts, the 2 ground ball outs. Pretty impressive. Full count pitch. Broken bat, little ground ball up the middle. Speared by the shortstop Escobar. Turn, throw, and got him with a pretty play.
Well, Jerry, I can testify that it's really hard for the Blue Jays right now to try to keep their head in baseball and go out there and play their hearts out. It's just a tough thing to happen when one of your teammates gets injured and is taken off. I've had that happen before, never a head injury.
Melky Cabrera shows bunt, takes a strike.
But they've got to somehow put that aside. That's part of what they do as professionals, is continue to work at trying to whittle away this lead right now.
Yeah, you make a great point putting us down in the dugout after J-Happ was hit in the head with that line drive last inning off the bat of Desmond Jennings. And you can just look at the Blue Jays and you can just see their spirits flagging. Cabrera half swing, goes around, falls down in front of Jose Molina, who picks up Melky, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. This is going to be a struggle the rest of the night.
Well, you know, it's a typical environment down there in the dugout where you're trying to cheer each other up and get each other fired up. You might tell some jokes to get on a guy, to get him fired up. And when that happens, when an injury happens like that, your thoughts are always with the guy and his family. And, you know, you just can't help it. It's human nature to just kind of get quiet. I mean, this whole crowd went dead silent. And here they are with the Rays up 4-1.
3rd inning, Hernandez the wind. Strike 2 pitch is low. On deck, Jose Bautista. And Molina sets the target. And back comes the pitch. That one's hit the right field shallow. Coming on, Ben Zobrist, looking up into the roof here at Tropicana Field. He has it. 2 down. Well, here's a new one for you. On Sunday, May the 26th, the Blue Jays are home against the Orioles on a Blue Jays reusable grocery bag giveaway day. The first 20,000 fans will receive a Blue Jays reusable grocery bag. So stop on by Rogers Plus locations for tickets to that game. Tickets available, of course, at BlueJays.com. Sunday, May the 26th, the Blue Jays and the Orioles. Jose Bautista takes strike 1 called here in this 3rd inning of a 4-1 game, Tampa Bay. Jose doubled off the left center field fence back in the 1st inning. And Hernandez cuts it loose. Fastball grounded to the hole at short. Backhanded by the second baseman Roberts with the shift on. He throws Bautista out, and the inning is over. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's the Rays 4, the Blue Jays 1. Brought to you by Home Hardware. This is the Blue Jays Radio Network.
At Amica Mature Lifestyles, retirement living is all about living life your way. Amica's retirement communities are all-inclusive. Every service and amenity, the full array of activities, social events, and fine dining menus have all been created with your independence in mind, so you can enjoy the choice, ease, and freedom to live life just the way you like. Find out for yourself. Book your free lunch and tour today at amica.ca. Amica Mature Lifestyles. Love life. Live here.
Hey, buddy, I think this red sock was meant for your dark load.
Not again. Thanks, talking Super 8 sign.
Looks like you need an escape. How?
Whoa, great seats.
Hot dogs.
Hey, over here.
Hey, it's on me. No, I left my wallet in my other sign.
Aw.
But you'll have plenty of extra money to spare by joining Wyndham Rewards at Super8.ca, where you can earn free nights and more at every one of our almost 2,300 locations. Super 8, destination super. Visit Super8.ca for details. All hotels are independently owned and operated.
Did you know that half of Ontario's electricity comes from reliable, affordable, and secure greenhouse gas emission-free nuclear generation? That's 50% of Ontario's electricity, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all year long. Learn more at abetterenergyplan.ca. The Power Workers Union. The people who help keep the lights on.
No one does the Blue Jays like us, because no one else can. Home of Toronto Blue Jays baseball, the Blue Jays Radio Network.
Be sure and stay tuned after our game for tonight's game-changing moment presented by Mike's Hard Lemonade. Change the game with Mike's. The Rays lead at 4-1. We're here in the bottom of the third inning in St. Pete. The shift on for the left-hand hitting DH Luke Scott, the only Ray who did not bat last inning in the 4-run, 5-hit frame. Lincoln had to come on for the injured J. Happ. Half swing, Luke Scott goes around, strike one. Scott grounded out to second, leaving 2 men on, off Happ in the scoreless first inning. Brett Laurie out in shallow right field. Scott fouls one back to the screen. No balls and 2 strikes.
Well, Brad Lincoln, being a relief pitcher, is working out of the stretch even with nobody on base. And, you know, the injury has a ripple effect, not just for what it means in the dugout tonight, but now the bullpen's going to have to piece together the rest of this game with 2 more games right here in Tampa against 2 pretty tough pitchers the next couple nights.
And the strike 2 pitch is inside. Of course, tomorrow night is Ricky Romero, who came up for the injured Josh Johnson, who's on the disabled list with a strained right triceps muscle. Ricky will make his second start against Ray's tough left-hander, young Matt Moore, who's already 5-0 with an ERA of 1.95. And the Blue Jays will be looking to, again, add another starter to the rotation, what with Happ being injured here tonight. 1-2 pitch, strike 3 called. Scott caught looking. Lincoln gets him. 1 down. Justin Germano was just sent back to Buffalo, but the veteran down there, Claudio Vargas, has been pitching pretty well too, and that's the whole idea when you stock your AAA Buffalo club with pitchers in the event that there are injuries.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to do the math, but I don't think that Josh Johnson would be able to come off the DL and fill in for J. Happ, so they're going to need some of their body up here.
Sean Rodriguez, right-handed hitter, fouls one to the screen, strike 1.
And more than likely that'll happen as soon as tomorrow, because I'm guessing, I'm pretty sure on this one that J. Happ's going to be on the DL for a while.
Yes, he is. 4-1 Tampa Bay here in the bottom of the third inning. Rodriguez doubled the left to open up the 4-run second. He shows bunt, takes outside, 1-1. Rodriguez doubled. Adam Lind had just homered to make it 1-0 Blue Jays. Adams' first home run of the season. James Loney then singled, and that put Rays at first and third. Lincoln's pitch, a nice sharp curveball in there for strike 1 and 2. Jose Molina then pushed a bunt up along first. Edwin Encarnacion charged barehanded, got a toss off to the plate. Rodriguez slid head first, actually touched the plate with his hand, but Marty Foster missed the call and called him out. And pitches outside. Joe Madden was ejected for that call. The replay showed that Marty did miss it. And then Yunel Escobar was up at the plate when a wow pitch brought in the tying run to make it 1-1. Escobar then singled, and that put 2 on. There's a ground ball weakly hit to the mound, taken quickly by Lincoln off the hill. A toss underhand to first in plenty of time, 2 down. And that's when Desmond Jennings came up and lined one viciously right back to the head of Jay Happ, who could not do anything to get his hand up to protect himself. The line drive hit his head. The ball rolled down the right field line. 2-run score. Jennings ended up at third, scored a triple. That's when the game stopped to take care of Happ. Our thoughts and prayers went right down to the field, NJ. And then Lincoln came on. Ryan Roberts ended up with a ground ball base hit to a draw in an infield. That knocked home Jennings to make it 4-1, and that's the score here in the third. A strike called to James Loney. Four runs, 7 hits for the Rays. Blue Jays 1 run, 3 hits. Game 2 of this 4-game series. There's a ball line to center field coming on. Rasmus stalks it, makes the catch, runs it down, and the inning is over. To the fourth we go. Rays 4, Blue Jays 1. Brought to you by Home Hardware. This is the Blue Jays Radio Network. The ball rolled down the line. Jennings ended up with a triple and drove in 2, but it was one of those horrific injuries. There's a ground ball through the left-hand side. That's a base hit. Molina scoots up to second. And the Rays have 2 on. And you just fight through a game like this, Jack Morris, don't you?
Yeah, you do. You know, Desmond Jennings, you talk about how he must feel. You know, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's doing his job. You want to hit the ball up the middle. You don't want to hit a guy in the head, but you want to shoot the ball up the middle, and, you know, that's a sign that you're making good contact. You have a good approach. There he's able to pull the ball in the hole and get another base hit.
So the Rays with 2 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Leading the Blue Jays 4-1, out hitting the Blue Jays 8-3. Pete Walker with a quick visit now jogs back to the Blue Jays third base dugout. Here is Ryan Roberts, who just made a stunning play up the middle to rob Adam Lind of a base hit. Roberts at the plate has doubled and singled, so he's had a very good night. He had 2 for 2. Kawasaki at short. His Turris at second, double play combination. Laurie backed up at third. A breaking ball, curveball in there for a strike. Lincoln, where's that white 49 on his blue shirt? He is set. Here he comes in the dirt. The pitch is low and outside. Blocked nicely by Aaron Sebia, so 1 ball and 1 strike. I see that white 49. Of course, these are the old numbers that the Blue Jays wore, too, and it brings back a lot of memories for me. And there was a right-hander named Tom Filer who wore number 49, and one year with the Blue Jays started off 7-0. The stretch by Lincoln wearing that uniform. Pitch on the way low and taken by Aaron Sebia. 2 balls and 1 strike. Just saw the other day a pitcher, I believe, named Tom Zachary. Went through a season, I think in 1929, he was like 12 or 13-0. And the next best undefeated season for a pitcher was the Blue Jays' Dennis Lamp in 1985. Went out of the pen that year, he went 11-0. Molina the lead at second. At first, Jennings. A pitch popped up on the infield, so the infield fly rule here applies. As Turris is under it at second, he has it. 2 down.
11-0 was a pretty good year, and I remember Dennis Lamp. He had a lot of fun. He would throw the little sinker, the slider, the little slurve. He had the little loop ball. I mean, he threw everything up there except the kitchen sink.
Here comes John Gibbons, so that's going to be it. Aaron Loop will take on switch hitter Ben Zobrist. Matthew, nice question. From backyards and patios to faucets, fixtures, project packages, and more. Get the advice you need from the experts. That's at Home Hardware and Building Center locations, the official home improvement retailer of the Blue Jays. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice. Jerry Howarth along with Jack Morris, Mike Wellner, our engineer Tom Young, and Derek Randeo back in our Toronto studios. Delighted you could join us for some Blue Jays baseball here tonight at Tropicana Field. Game 2 of the 4-game series. Blue Jays won here last night 8-7. Trail here tonight 4-1 in the Rays' 4th inning. Zobrist swings and he fouls one at home plate, strike 1. Big Ben has flied out and had an infield hit, make him 1 for 2. Loop comes in here. In 13 games, 1-2. His ERA 3.38. He's given up 19 hits over 16 innings with 9 strikeouts and 4 walks. Aaron from Louisiana straightens up on the hill. Runners lead at first and second. Strike 1 pitch is low. Came over with Aaron before the game here today and enjoy his company. He's just got so much maturity. I was telling him Joe Madden said that his pitcher, Jeremy Hellickson, along with GM Andrew Friedman, they were talking about his composure off the charts. And for me, that's Aaron Loop at 25. Remarkable composure. 1-1 pitch. Hit the left field deep. That's got a chance to go. Melky Cabrera sprints over into the corner. He's there, reaches out, and he makes a brilliant catch right up against the fence. The ball fair by about 15 feet. He ran, hell-bent for leather, without any regard for his body and crashed up against the fence, reaching out fully with that gloved hand and caught it and banged into it with both hands and kept the ball in his glove. A pretty play, and the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, a walk, 2 left. We go to the 5th and 6th. Mike Wilner to call it for you. It's the Rays 4, the Blue Jays 1. Brought to you by Home Hardware. This is the Blue Jays Radio Network.
All 3, Jose Molina tried to pull it back into the strike zone, but to no avail. On that Sportsnet out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by StubHub, by the way, rookie Matt Harvey of the New York Mets was 20 up and 20 down against the Chicago White Sox. Perfect game, spoiled by Alex Rios. 3-1 pitches in there for a strike, 3-2. Rios with an infield single, the deep shortstop with 2 out in the 7th inning to break up Matt Harvey's perfect game.
We've got another young pitcher that is really lighting it up in Matt Harvey. He's having himself one heck of a start here this year. He's an exciting one that people are going to be wanting to watch.
Full count pitch swung on, hit off the glove of Hernandez and out into right field. That's going to be a base hit for Munenori Kawasaki here with 2 out in the 5th inning. That was a ground ball to second, Jack, if Hernandez doesn't get his glove on it.
Well, pitcher doesn't know that. He's doing whatever he can. He reacts to the ball and tries to catch it if he can. Just a fourth hit for the Blue Jays right there. And you're right, Mike. I'm sure that second baseman Ryan Roberts would have had an easy play at that.
Just off the fingertips of Hernandez's glove and out into right field. Kawasaki, 4 stolen bases in 5 attempts. And I haven't seen him pitch much as Roberto Hernandez, but when he was Fausto Carmona, he did not hold runners on very well.
Brett Lawrie stands in 0 for 2, couple of ground outs.
First pitch to him is swung on, hit in the air, shallow in center field. Jennings lopes in, he's there now, and he makes the catch. The inning is over. So the Blue Jays get the 2-out single and nothing more. We're halfway home in St. Pete. It's the Tampa Bay Rays 4, Toronto 1. Brought to you by Home Hardware. This is the Blue Jays Radio Network.
Don't miss a game.
Right now, as he was conscious when he left the field, waved to the fans from the stretcher, and he's currently at Bayfront Medical Center here in St. Petersburg. Longoria hits a ball high in the air towards the roof here at the Trop. Shallow center field. Colby Rasmus has it, and there's one away.
Number 30, Lou Scott.
Mike, this is one of the few fields where something above the field can come into play. We talked about the 4 different catwalks that are surrounding Tropicana here, and it takes quite a bit to get them in those center 2, but that one came close.
Sky high pop fly. The catwalks are suspended from the roof. They hold the roof up. Luke Scott, Wolverine, takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1. Scott's cleaned up those sideburns a little bit this year. Stands in hitting an even 400 just off the DL. The 0-1 pitch to him. Low for a ball, 1-1. And Jack, I know I was sitting here thinking when Jay Happ was down on the ground there after taking that line drive off the head, Why don't they just call it a night right here?
Everybody else standing around, I don't think they ever quit thinking about it until they're at bat or a ground ball's hit to them, a fly ball.
2-2 pitch, half swing, he goes, says home plate umpire Marty Foster. That's a strikeout. Scott's second, Aaron Loops first. 2 down here in the 5th.
Number 1, Sean Rodriguez.
Sean Rodriguez stands in 1 for 2. He doubled to lead off the second inning. The Rays scored all 4 of their runs in that frame. And he takes the first pitch high, 1-0. The Buffalo Bisons, the Blue Jays of the future, just across the border. 90-minute drive from downtown Toronto. And they've got a couple of homestands coming up. They'll host the White Sox AAA affiliate, the Charlotte Knights, May 18th to the 21st. There's a swing and a miss, 1-1. Then the Pittsburgh Pirates affiliate, the Indianapolis Indians, come in from May 23rd to the 26th. To get your tickets, visit bisons.com. The Buffalo Bisons, very exciting AAA ball club. There's a strike at the knees, 1-2. Today, in the Bisons game, in the very first inning, Anthony Gose with a straight steal of home plate. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and lined right back up the middle, a base hit. Well past Aaron Luke to the right of the mound. A 2-out single for Sean Rodriguez brings 400 hitter James Loney to the plate with 2 out. Loney's really only hitting .393, but we'll round it up a little bit.
I've noticed that's what they do with the change in Canada now, so.
That's right. We've gotten rid of the penny. Loney's 1 for 2. He singled and lined out to center, and the first pitch to him is up and in for a ball, 1-0. It's a 4-1 Tampa lead. We're here in the bottom of the 5th, 2 out and a runner on first. The pitch is swung on and lifted in the air, shallow left field. Melky Cabrera's got a beat on it. He's got it, and the inning is over. So a 2-out single and nothing more for the Rays here in the bottom of the 5th, and we head to the 6th. It's Tampa Bay 4, Toronto 1. Brought to you by Home Hardware. This is the Blue Jays Radio Network.
Go Jays, go!
This inning is brought to you by Home Hardware, homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice. And this inning is the 6th. The Blue Jays come into it trailing the Tampa Bay Rays 4-1. The Blue Jays looking for a 3rd straight win for the first time this season. They erased a 7-0 deficit last night for an 8-7 win. So this 3-run deficit not nearly as daunting, but the Blue Jays shaken up by the injury to their teammate Jay Happ. First pitch to Melky, swung on and foul out of play. That's going to get off the facing of the upper deck. Bounce back into the lower level, and it's snagged very nicely by a fan in a red Blue Jays Brett Lawrie shirt. Now Melky hits it hard on the ground into right field, base hit. Cabrera, first hit of the night. That bat has really come around the last week or so, and it's been a great help for the Blue Jays.
Well, Roberto Hernandez really been settled in here in the last 3 innings, and right there, Melky gets the leadoff hit. Blue Jays going to have to start clawing away in order to get back in this game. They can't let it get too far.
Cabrera on first with nobody out in the 6th. Tying run is in the hole. It's Edwin Encarnacion. And here's Jose Bautista with 7 homers this season. Almost had his 8th in the first inning. Fly ball off the top of the wall in left center. Big swing and a miss on the first pitch. 0-1.
Yeah, big roundhouse slider right there that Hernandez threw kind of up, but it really broke off the plate. And Jose was thinking fastball middle half, so.
Hernandez looks in for his sign. Cabrera short lead, and Roberto will check on him. Melky has 2 stolen bases this season. He's been caught twice to lead the team. Jake McGee gets up and starts throwing in the Tampa Rays bullpen. He gave up a couple of runs yesterday, helping the Blue Jays to that comeback victory. Cabrera the lead. The 0-1 pitch to Jose, swing and a miss, 0-2. Change up at the shoe tops.
Yeah, Hernandez doing a real good job of mixing up his pitches tonight. He's had his good sinker, running a fastball around 92 miles an hour. His changeup's about 85 with good arm action. He's got the slider about 88.
He's ahead of Bautista 0-2. The pitch inside and low. Ball 1. He went to the fastball there at 90.
Well, what he did with it is something to take note. He moved Bautista's feet, and he's done that a few times. You know, he's known as a sinker ball guy, so every once in a while he can throw it right at their shoe tops, and that always takes a pitch or two for most guys to readjust. They don't quite have that same power type swing.
See what happens here with a 1-2 pitch. It's low. Ball 2. We learned that in spring training. Jack Morris loves it when pitchers move hitters' feet.
Well, you're heading the count. It's something that, it's a weapon that, you know, you don't have to hit a guy. You just have to make them move, because when they're digging in and feeling like they can spin out of their shoes, it's a whole different look.
Hernandez has thrown 91 pitches so far tonight as he steps off the rubber. Now he gets back, plants both those feet, and leans over. Glove on his left knee, bare hand on his right. Comes to a stretch and throws to first, and Melky Cabrera dives back safely. It's the top of the 6th. The Blue Jays have scored more than twice as many runs in the 6th inning, or pardon me, exactly twice as many going into last night. So now it's more than twice as many runs in the 6th inning as they've scored in any other inning this season. I'm not sure yet that I'm going to take credit for that, but maybe eventually if it keeps up. Hernandez again steps off and looks Melky back as though he is a threat. Dave Martinez running the show for the Tampa Bay Rays. Joe Madden was ejected from this game in the 2nd inning for arguing a bad call by home plate on Marty Foster at the plate. Pitch to Jose, swung on a line foul into the seats. Into a group of fans. There are sporadic groups of fans laid about Tropicana Field. We don't have an attendance figure. There was under 10,000 last night. Doesn't look to be any bigger tonight.
Yeah, it's about the same, I would think.
Count is 2-2 on Jose. Nobody out. Cabrera takes his lead off first. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hit hard on the ground to third. Longoria's got it. To second one. Roberts to first. Double play. Around the horn they go. 5-4-3, and there are 2 away.
Number 10, Edwin Encarnacion.
Fans, you probably already know that StubHub is the place to find great Blue Jays tickets. What you may not know is that StubHub is also a great place to grab Maple Leafs playoff tickets. You get the same great service and same Fan Protect guarantee. So get to StubHub and grab your seats today. Edwin Encarnacion takes a first pitch low for a ball. He has, as they say, grabbed a seat a couple of times tonight, struck out swinging twice. JP Arancibia has done the same as part of a 7-strikeout night for Roberto Hernandez so far.
Well, that in itself is impressive, but the most impressive, 0 walks. And here's a guy that used to fight his command quite a bit and has at times this year.
Absolutely true. The 1-0 pitch to Encarnacion is inside for a ball. Spins Edwin away from home plate. He backpedals out of the batter's box.
Talk a little bit about Jay Happ while he was in the game. He only issued 1 walk while he was in the game.
Pitch to Edwin is in there for a strike, 2-1. And it was a smart walk, too. It was that pitching around Evan Longoria with a man on second and 2 out in the 1st inning. 2-1 pitch. Low, 3-1. Now Steve Delabar starting to get loose in the Blue Jays bullpen. Not throwing yet, but just working with that weighted ball. He and Brett Cecil are on that program. Found out today Dustin McGowan is on that program as well. McGowan scheduled to get into a game next week with Dunedin. 3-1 pitch, huge swing and a miss. The fastball low and the count is full.
Well, Edwin kind of shaking his head like, how did I miss that ball? Trying to hit a 9-run home run right there.
Jays down 4-1. Nobody on. 2 out, and the pitch is low and inside, ball 4. There's the first walk of the night for Roberto Hernandez, and it extends the inning for yesterday's hero, J.P. Arancibia.
Number 9, J.P. Arancibia.
And a visit now from pitching coach Jim Hickey. Going to talk to Roberto Hernandez as a result of that walk. And the whole Tampa infield's going to come in. Jake McGee continuing to throw in the Rays bullpen. And with Adam Lind on deck, this may be it for Roberto Hernandez. Four runs on 9 hits, no errors for the Rays. 1 run on 5 hits and no errors for the Blue Jays. We're in the top of the 6th, 2 out. And a runner on first, and Roberto Hernandez, the former Fausto Carmona, might remember him with the Cleveland Indians, has thrown 99 pitches, 33 balls and 66 strikes.
Now Jim Hickey walking back to the dugout. Right now the bench coach is Dave Martinez, and I imagine he's the manager as far as, even though Joe Mann's probably up there calling all the moves, I'm sure Jim Hickey could probably make that move also.
Throw over to first. Diving back is Melky, even though he's only a step away. Hernandez caught him unaware, but he's back safely.
That's Edwin over there.
Pardon me, Edwin Encarnacion. Yeah, I wonder what was on Edwin's mind right there. Melky Cabrera, of course, eliminated in the double play Jose Bautista hit. First pitch to Arancibia is inside for a ball, 1-0. Edwin drawing the 2-out walk, first walk of the night, and that was Hernandez's 100th pitch. The lefty McGee is ready. Nobody actually throwing in the Blue Jays bullpen. Delabar still standing there with his warm-up on. 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed. Fastball low, 1-1. The Blue Jays have yet to win 3 in a row this season. They're in position to do it with a win tonight. But really, everyone's thoughts just on Jay Happ and how he's doing after being hit in the head by a line drive in the second inning. Pitch to Arancibia is grounded foul to the right of third base coach Luis Rivera, 1-2.
Mike, there's no question, even the crowd has reacted differently tonight. There's just not the excitement. Tampa Bay Rays are up 4-1 right now, and if it was last night, they were all energetic, making a lot of noise for a small crowd. It's pretty much the same crowd here tonight, but it's been real quiet, and that's all because of that injury.
Scary moment. The 1-2 pitch hit hard on the ground to short. Escobar's got it, fired to second, and the inning is over. So the Blue Jays get a hit and a walk. An ill-timed double play, but there really are never any good time for those. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. Blue Jays trail the Tampa Bay Rays 4-1. Brought to you by Home Hardware. This is the Blue Jays Radio Network. Out there for the Blue Jays here in the bottom of the 6th. They trail the Tampa Bay Rays 4-1, and it's the bottom of the lineup up for T-Bay. Jose Molina to lead it off. He's hit into a fielder's choice and walked, and he takes the first pitch down and in for a ball, 1-0. Now Steve Delabar is throwing in the Blue Jays bullpen, and the Rays pen is empty. It's a 4-1 Tampa Bay lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Pitch to Jose is at the knees for a strike. 1-1. Mike Wilner here with Jerry Howarth and Jack Morris. Our on-site engineer and producer is Tom Young with Derek Brandeo and Joe Sicilia. Oh, Gore Brunt. Gore Brunt's in today. All right, with Derek Brandeo back at our flagship, Sportsnet 590 The Fan. 1-1 pitch to Molina, hit on the ground to short. Kawasaki charges, but he has all kinds of time. Throw it over to first, 1 away.
Number 11, Yunel Escobar.
Fans, you can get suited up for the 2013 season at jshop.ca. jshop.ca is the largest online selection of authentic Blue Jays caps, t-shirts, jerseys, and more. So go visit jshop.ca or call 1-877-JSHOP. In the time it took me to read that, that's how long it took Yunel Escobar to walk from the on-deck circle to home plate. Not quite sure what took him so long, but here he is, batting ninth today. He is 1 for 2.
He's got a longer version of his walk-up song.
He wanted to hear a little bit more of the tune. Luke's first pitch is low, ball 1. Yunel hitting 180 with a 521 OPS. Swings and fouls that pitch off. Little dribbler towards the Rays dugout. It's 1-1. It's a 4-1 Tampa lead. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. And everybody's thoughts with Jay Happ, in case you missed it, second inning and you don't want to see it. Pitch to Escobar, half swing. Does he go? He does. Strike 2. Escobar dropped the bat trying to hold up the swing. Again, if you missed it, don't look for it. Jay Happ hit in the head by a line drive off the bat of Desmond Jennings in the second inning. An 11-minute delay as trainers and doctors tended to him. He was stretchered off the field. He's now in hospital in St. Petersburg. He was conscious, and we're awaiting further word. 1-2 pitch to Yunel is swung on, hit high in the air right field. Jose Bautista crosses barely into foul territory, and he makes the catch. 2 down. And as Desmond Jennings comes to the plate, we'll take a look at the Sportsnet out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by StubHub. The Boston Red Sox trailing the Minnesota Twins 2-0 in the top of the 8th inning as Canadian Scott Diamond is out-dueling Canadian Ryan Dempster. They're in a rain delay in Baltimore. 3-1. The Orioles lead the Royals in the 5th, but they're about to come out of it. First pitch to Jennings is high for a ball, 1-0. Cleveland leads Oakland 1-0, bottom of the 8th. The only run of the ball game coming on a sac fly by former Blue Jay Yan Gomes. It's 6-3 Astros over the Angels, bottom of the 4th. Jennings hits it on the ground. Nice play by Laurie. 360 fire to first, and Edwin picks it out of the dirt to end the inning. And the Habs are leading the Senators 2-0 in the 3rd period. Fine play by Brett Laurie to complete a 1-2-3-6 for Aaron Loup. We go to the 7th. Jerry Howarth back at the mic. Toronto trailing Tampa Bay 4-1. Brought to you by Home Hardware. This is the Blue Jays Radio Network.
Double plays are a pitcher's best friend, and Schneider's and Bellagio are your taste buds' best friend. Savor the dog days of summer with Schneider's hot dogs or sausages served on fresh Bellagio buns. At the ballpark or on your barbecue, make the most of your summer. We go to the 7th inning here at Tropicana Field. The Rays lead at 4-1. They've out-hit the Blue Jays 9-5. Left-hander Jake McGee comes on to face Adam Lind, Colby Rasmussen, Meister's Turris. Adam is the one when it comes to runs here tonight. With 1 out, nobody on in the 2nd, drilled a home run to right, his first of the year. That was off starter Roberto Hernandez. McGee in with a strike. Hernandez goes 6 innings tonight, charged with that 1 run on a total of 5 hits. Struck out 7, walked 1, and had 8 ground ball outs behind him. So it totaled up to 7 strikeouts and the 8 ground ball outs. There's a line drive fair down the left field line. That's a base hit. That'll quickly go into the corner. Handed by Sean Rodriguez. Nobody's at second. Tiptoeing in with a double to lead off the 7th inning is Adam Lind.
Jerry Adam could very easily have 3 hits tonight. He hit the ball really sharply hard towards the hole in center field, and Ryan Roberts, the second baseman, made a nice play on him. So he's hit the ball very hard tonight 3 times.
And there's a base hit, Jack, off a left-hander that's been difficult for Adam the last few years.
Well, he was able to shoot it the other way, go down the left field line. Again, the Blue Jays have their leadoff man on.
Well, we were just finishing that sentence that for Roberto Hernandez, a sinker ball pitcher, one of the best in the game over the years, not only 7 strikeouts, but when you add the 8 ground ball outs, that's 15 of the 18 outs. So for a pitcher who came in 1-4 with an ERA of 5.28, and he's lowered that under 5 now, a very impressive start. Lind at second. Here's Rasmus. Colby takes strike 1 called. Jerry Howarth along with Jack Morris, Mike Weldner, our engineer Tom Young, and Derek Brandeo back in our Toronto studios. Great to have you with us here tonight on our Blue Jays radio network, and very happy to have you with us on the internet, wherever you happen to be. Rasmus here tonight, 0 for 2. He is flied out and struck out. McGee's pitch hammered to right center field. Long drive. Back for it, Ben Zobrist. He's looking up, and there she goes. A 2-run home run for Colby Rasmus. And the Blue Jays climb right back in here in St. Pete, trailing the Rays 4-3.
Well, Colby hit a home run last night to straightaway center field. That one was in the gap out in right center field. Right fielder Ben Zobrist just looked up. He knew that was out of here, and Colby continuing his hot bat.
Well, Rasmus with his 5th last night, 6th here tonight. This is a 1-run ball game now. And how about Jake McGee? He comes on, and the left-handed hitters, Lind and Rasmus, punish him. Here's his tourist, switch hitting, batting right-handed, fouls one down the right field side, strike 1. Now the Rays will get their bullpen busy right now as Brandon Gomes starts to get loose.
You know, interesting, that ball was down across the plate. Low ball right there that left-hander pitcher Jake McGee threw.
His tourist bunts, and he bunts it foul back to the screen and over it.
And the reason I bring that up is I was talking to Joe Madden before the game, and he was talking about Jake McGee. And he said, you know, he's one guy that has more success with his fastball up in the zone. He said, guys just don't get to him. They don't pick it up, and they hit a lot of fly balls. He said he gets in trouble when he keeps the ball down. And that's, you know, kind of opposite of what most pitchers are trying to do, but Joe Madden making a note of that.
As Turris, who has doubled and struck out looking, takes a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now, I want to run something by you, Jack, here. You pitched for 18 years, and it's a general observation. 1-2 pitch hit on the ground to short, scooped up by Escobar. Unel fires it on to first in time. That's the first out here, as Kawasaki now is going to give way to a pinch hitter, and that's Mark DeRosa, who had a pinch hit 2-run home run here last night, big part of the 8-7 win. They say, in baseball terms, left-handed hitters seem to, percentage-wise, be better low ball hitters than high ball hitters. Did you find that a fact, and would that be something that has hurt McGee here?
You know, I'm sure there's a stat out there that might either make that a yes or a no, but I can't remember them being any more one way or the other than a right-handed hitter. I just think in general, left-handers, number one, they get to first base quicker because they're closer to the bag, and number two, they typically, the good ones, have a lot purer swing, and I don't know why that is. It's funny, but there's been so many great swinging left-handers.
Here's the right-handed hitting DeRosa. Takes strike 1 called.
You know, a few off the top of my head is, you know, the great Ted Williams, John Olerud, you know, John Grubb, a teammate of mine in Detroit. Just a beautiful swing.
Strike 1 pitch is inside. So here in this 2-run 7th inning, Blue Jays are right back in it, trailing 4-3. DeRosa, as we said, a pinch hit home run last night down the right field line. His 3rd career pinch hit home run, first since September of 2005. He waits the delivery, and it's low, 2-1. Mark now has homered in back-to-back games. The home run last night, pretty impressive. And don't forget, on Sunday at home, a 3-run home run. that he hit, part of a 10-2 win over the Seattle Mariners. Pitch to him, flared to right field. Coming on for it is Zobrist. He makes the catch, 2 away. So here again, you'll see the move that John Gibbons did last night is Turris will move from second to short. DeRosa will finish the game at second. On the Blue Jays bench, still Rajay Davis and Henry Blanco, and the switch hitter Emilio Bonifacio. Kawasaki had struck out and lined a base hit off the glove of the pitcher, Hernandez. Brett Laurie, he swings and he misses strike one. Now Brett, last night, 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts hit into a double play. Tonight, 0 for 3. Laurie now is 3 for his last 26. Steve Delabar finishing his warm-ups. He'll pitch to the Rays in the bottom of the 7th. McGee with a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-2. Cleveland leads the American League with 44 home runs. The Blue Jays are second with 43, and the Yankees are third with 40. Those are the 3 teams hitting 40 or more home runs this year in the American League. Now Baltimore's close with 39. Laurie fouls one back to the screen, still 0-2.
Yeah, and that doesn't necessarily equate to wins. All or nothing sometimes isn't the best way to play the game of baseball.
Well, we had said the other day that Encarnacion Bautista and Aaron Seavey had combined for 24 home runs, more than 8 teams at that point. Like 2 pitch outside. Of course, where the Blue Jays have been hurt, and considerably in a lot of different areas, but a team hitting just 235, 14th and next to last in the American League, with an on-base percentage of just .301. And that's the second poorest as well to Chicago. Laurie swings and he misses strike 3. McGee gets him, but Lind and Rasmus get McGee. We go to the 7th inning stretch here at the Trop. It's the Rays 4, the Blue Jays 3 now, brought to you by Home Hardware. This is the Blue Jays Radio Network.
Learn more at abetterenergyplan.ca. The Power Workers Union. The people who help keep the lights on.
This inning is brought to you by your Honda dealers. And remember to listen for Blue Jays talk coming up after the game with Mike Wilner.
Ryan Roberts.
Home half of the 7th inning, the Rays lead the Blue Jays 4-3. Steve Delabar comes on as the Blue Jays make some defensive changes we've talked about. Meiser is tourist, now moves from second to short, and Mark DeRosa, who pinch hit for shortstop Munenori Kawasaki's in at second. The Rays bring up Ryan Roberts, Ben Zobrist, and Evan Longoria, 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Roberts has doubled, singled, and popped up. Right-hander against right-hander. Showing bunt Roberts. He takes it high, a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Delabar in 15 games, 2-1, but the ERA an even 2. He's allowed just 12 hits over 18 innings, 4 earned runs, 24 strikeouts in the 18 innings, and 13 walks. Opponents have hit just 194 off him. Back he comes, the ball line to short, right there, off the glove of his Turris, picks it up, throws high to first, and they still get him.
Well, you don't see that play every day. Line drive right at Meiser. He had his glove up, and I don't know if it caught a reflection from somebody in the stands or a light, but he kind of ducked right at the last minute. It hit the heel of his glove. He stayed with it, threw the ball over to Edwin, and got the out. So it is down as a 6-3.
And that's one of those situations for Ryan Roberts where I always remember Cito Gaston talking about this situation. It happens. Ben Zobrist up, fouls one down the left field side, back out of play. Yes, when Roberts hit it, as soon as he saw it was lined right to the head of the shortstop, Zobrist, as Turris, he stopped. And then he saw the ball was dropped and he took off. And Cito said, That is a natural reaction. It's going to happen. You don't penalize a hitter and say you should have run it out. It's something hitters do. I never forgot that. And Cito's a pretty good hitter. There's a ground ball out to second. DeRosa has it. Quick play to first in time. 2 down. As a hitter, you just don't expect anything but an out on a line drive like that.
No, and it's hard, really difficult for a hitter to make contact and not watch the ball. It's just human instinct, too, to watch the ball. If you're not watching the ball, you can bust out of the box and try to leg out everything.
2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Rays with a 4-3 lead. They've out-hit the Blue Jays 9-7. Evan Longoria has walked, hit into a fielder's choice, and flied out. He is 0 for 2. Delabar's pitch low and outside, ball 1. Right-hander Kyle Farnsworth is finishing his warm-ups. He's going to face the Blue Jays in the 8th inning. Melky Cabrera, Jose Bautista, and Edwin Encarnacion. There's a good slider in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now that's really a third pitch for Delabar. He's so effective with his fastball and splitter. But he's got that one too. You just show it one time and what a value that is later on. He misses low and outside, 2-1. Just talking with Pat Tabler today about that. He said if a pitcher showed me one pitch like that I didn't know he had, you think about it the rest of the game. Is he going to use it again? Pitch driven to center field, deep. Backcourt, Colby Rasmus running to the track, to the wall. It's over his head, off the wall, base hit. Colby takes it on the track, gets that throw quickly back to the infield, and a double for Longoria.
Right there, Evan Longoria hits the ball to the absolute furthest part of this ballpark. There's a little angled corner out there in center field where it comes back towards the field in left center. And it's just a tough part of the ballpark for any center fielder to go grab that ball, and landed right there at the base of the wall.
Now Luke Scott comes up, the left-hand hitting DH, 0-for-3 tonight. He has grounded out and struck out twice. And if you're just joining us, really the story tonight in the 2nd inning, Jay Happ was pitching to Desmond Jennings, who lined one right off his head. The ball rolled down the line, down the right field line, 2 runs scored, and play was stopped, and Jay was taken off on a stretcher and is at the hospital here in St. Pete. There's a strike call to Luke Scott. Jay was attended to for 11 minutes officially, and hearts and prayers with Jay Happ here tonight after that line drive right back at his head. Longoria the lead at second base. Pitch on the way, it's inside. The Blue Jays in that 2nd inning had gone out in front 1-0 as Adam Lind homered off right-hander Roberto Hernandez, Adam's first home run of the year. But in the bottom of the 2nd, that's when the Rays tied it up off Happ. Happ wild pitched in the tying run, had 2 on. When Jennings stepped into the pitch and lined one off Jay's head. The 2-run scored. Lincoln picked up Happ. Roberts single home run to make it 4-1, and that's was the score here until the top of this 7th inning when Colby Rasmus hit a 2-run home run. Now a fly ball hit to Colby. He makes the catch in center, and the inning is over. A 2-0 more. We go to the 8th. Big Kyle Farnsworth ready to come in. It's the Rays 4, the Blue Jays 3. Brought to you by Home Hardware. This is the Blue Jays Radio Network.
Spin the season.
This Super 8th inning is brought to you by Super 8 Hotels. Destination Super. Book your super destination today. You'll always get the best rate available when you book at super8.ca. And in this 8th inning, the Rays have a 4-3 lead. They've out-hit the Blue Jays 10-7. Big Kyle Farnsworth comes on. The crowd here tonight just a smidgen above last night's 99.52. Tonight, 10,273. As the Rays, with a very good ball club over the years, continuing to draw very poorly. We mentioned Major League First last year. First team ever to win 90 games and finish last in Major League Baseball in attendance. And the Rays here are not faring that much better here this season. Melky Cabrera up, takes strike 1 called. Cabrera has singled, flied out, and grounded out, make him 1 for 3. Cesar Ramos starts to warm up now, the left-hander in the Rays pen. He's down the right field line. Melky hits one down the right field line. That's hooking toward the corner. Hooking, dropping, fair. A base hit. Hits the fence on a bounce. Taken by Zobrist. A quick throw back in that's cut. And a stand-up double for Cabrera, representing the tying run in this game to start the 8th.
Well, it's the second time now in 2 at-bats that Melky Cabrera has led off the inning with a base hit, this time in scoring position. And tying run now out at second base with the heart of the order coming up. And Jose Bautista, Edwin Encarnacion, and J.P. Arancibia.
Well, for Cabrera, he is 9 now for his last 21, hitting at a cool .429 clip. The batter now, Jose Bautista. 8th inning, 4-3 Rays. Bautista has doubled and grounded out twice, once into a double play. Roberts at second, holds on the runner close. Farnsworth deals. Jose shows bunt, and the pitch off the glove of Molina. And to third base on a pass ball goes Cabrera. A huge break for the Blue Jays.
Well, no need to bunt now. Now Bautista just got to lift the ball to the outfield. Normal depth, it'll score the run. The game will be tied.
And you wonder if Jose Molina was fooled by the mere fact that Bautista even showed bunt on that first pitch. Whatever happened, he broke his concentration. Now the infield is drawn in. Bautista here against Kyle Farnsworth. Jose, 7 home runs. He's driven in 14. Shift on 3 infielders to the left of second. Jose takes a breaking ball for a strike. Again, you don't see the shift too often, although Joe Madden applies it liberally against both right and left-handed hitters. And you very seldom see the shift with the infield drawn in. But Jose's got one man on the right side between first and second. That's first baseman James Loney. And we've seen Jose take the ball the other way. The pitch drilled down the left field line, hooking, fair, a base hit. That goes into the corner. Melky scores. Jose digs into second, the throw into third. This game is tied 4-4 here in St. Pete.
Well, that's just determination right there and good hitting for Jose Bautista. Picking up the RBI, tying the game and changing places with Melky Cabrera at second. Now he's the go-ahead run at second base.
And Jack, now you have to think in that Blue Jays dugout, after how solemn things have been with Jay Happ hit in the head in the second inning and taken off on a stretcher to the hospital here. Now it's almost like, let's go, let's get one for the left-hander.
Yep.
The batter, Edwin Encarnacion, a swing and a miss, strike 1. So now you begin to see a lot more life in that Blue Jays third base dugout. Down 4-1 end of 2. They have caught the Rays yet again. Remember last night, down 7-0 end of 3. Rallied to win it dramatically 8-7 on a 2-out home run to left field in the top of the 9th by J.P. Arancibia down to his last strike. Jose the lead at second. Farnsworth set. The pitch is low and outside. So for Farnsworth, a blown save. No win here tonight for Roberto Hernandez. Jay Happ is now off the hook regarding that statistic, and the bullpens will decide it. So Ramos, the left-hander, is ready if needed in that Rays pen. Fastball hit down the right field side, strike 2. How about this in the American League? And this is where the Rays are so different from a year ago. This is the Tampa Bay Rays' 6th blown save. That ties them with the Boston Red Sox for second in the American League. The Baltimore Orioles, with Jim Johnson, their outstanding closer, they lead the league with 7 blown saves.
Yeah, that's insane, and I'm pretty sure most every team in baseball would love to have Jim Johnson in their bullpen.
Last year, the Rays bullpen led the major leagues with an ERA of 3.19. 1-2 pitch, line to second, over the head of the leaping Ryan Roberts, a base hit. Jose had to wait, of course. He comes to third. Edwin clapping his hands at first. The Blue Jays have runners at first and third with nobody out.
All right there, the Jays catching a little bit of a break. Roberts jumped as high as he could, and the ball just getting over his outstretched arm, and You're right. Jose Bautista did the smart thing. That was good base running for Jose. He had to wait and freeze at second base until the ball got past Roberts at second. He went on to third.
Well, now here is J.P. Arencibia who had that big swing last night. We were talking about the Rays bullpen, and here's Farnsworth, the blown save. The Rays pen last year led the major leagues with an ERA of 3.19. This year, the Rays bullpen has an earned run average of 4.8, which is 28th in the 30-team major league scheme. So the Blue Jays take advantage of the bullpen for a second straight night. Here's Arencibia, nobody out. 4-4 the score. Swing and a miss, strike one.
Well, Jerry, last night they used 6 pitchers in the ball game. Tonight they're out with Kyle Farnsworth. They're on their third pitcher. Got Cesar Ramos warming up. If Farnsworth would blow this lead right here, there's a good chance he'd be coming in the game. Left-hander Lynn on deck.
There's a quick throw to first. Edwin back in, standing up. We mentioned last night when Arencibia hit the plate, it was number 9 for number 9, of course, the number he wears. And remember this, of the 9 home runs, he has hit 6 of those home runs with 2 strikes on him, the 6th being last night. Strike one pitch is inside. So all he needs is to have one more strikeout and he'll be in his element.
Well, he doesn't need a home run right here. He needs to try to shoot the ball right field. There's a big hole with Loney holding the runner on at first and Roberts playing close to second base for the double play. If he could just somehow think about shortening up a little bit and shooting the ball to right, but JP doesn't have that on mind.
Pitch on the way to him, a swing and a miss. Now it's 1-2.
Maybe with 2 strikes he'll think about it.
Arencibia's mom, Irene, is here. His sister, Irene, with her 6 kids. They've come over from Miami. It's a wonderful family. I've had the pleasure of getting to know them over the years. And they're here watching JP here in this 8th inning. The Blue Jays have scored a run. Back-to-back doubles by Cabrera and Bautista to tie the game up at 4. Now Edwin a base hit to put runners at first and third. Still nobody out. The stretch. Pitch is inbound. Top foul, third base side. Good job to protect there. Farnsworth gets a new baseball. Cuts quite a figure on that 10-inch mound. He is 1-0. This is the 11th game, but remember his earned run average is 6.43 coming in. And he's just added to that. The runners lead. Infield shortened up a bit. 1-2 offering. Swing and a miss, strike 3. This time Arencibia strikes out. That's the first out. And we'll see if, and here comes bench coach Dave Martinez. He's the acting manager, as manager Joe Madden was ejected, arguing a call at the plate that Marty Foster missed back in the 2nd inning. So now Dave Martinez will come out to bring in the left-hander out of the bullpen, Cesar Ramos, to either face Adam Lind or perhaps a pinch hitter. Remember, Rajay Davis is pretty good, too, against left-handed pitching, although now we see Chad Mottola talking with Lind there at the third base dugout railing, so that indicates he's going to stay on here against Ramos. We are in the top of the 8th inning. The Blue Jays have tied the Rays 4-4 after trailing 4-1 at the end of 2. And Mike has Twitter reaction from Jay Happ's head injury tonight.
Thanks, Jerry. And anytime something big happens in a ball game, Twitter will immediately explode. But when Jay Happ got hurt, that line drive off the left side of his head just above the ear by Desmond Jennings in the 2nd inning, there was a great outpouring of concern and shock from Blue Jays fans. And then they started to get into kind of the ball game related aspects of the injury. And the biggest thing I think that I saw on my Twitter feed anyway were how upset fans were that Desmond Jennings went all the way to third, that the Tampa Bay Rays scored 2 runs on that play. That play wasn't immediately stopped when Jay Happ went down so that help could get out to him as soon as possible. And that's the way baseball works. There is a rule, in fact, it was pointed out to me by someone on Twitter, that the umpires can declare a dead ball when a player is incapacitated. I don't know how many umpires ever even know that rule. I certainly have never seen that rule come into effect, but it does, allowing the play to continue until the point at which it stops, certainly does prevent help from getting on the field as quickly as possible. But, Jack, it seems like that's baseball. That's the way it is. The ball is in play and play continues. Once it's over, then the player gets help.
Yeah, Mike, I don't even know how to respond to that. I certainly don't want to say something that would upset that. Obviously, we're all concerned about Jay Happ. That's number one. But I don't know how you can fault Desmond Jennings. You know, he's got to do what he's got to do for his team also.
Well, here we go. Adam Lind steps up here. 8th inning. Runners at first and third. The Blue Jays have tied the Rays 4-4, each club with 10 hits. Lind has homered to right field tonight. That was in the 2nd inning with 1 out, nobody on, his first home run of the season. He has since grounded out and then doubled and scored on Colby Rasmus' 2-run home run to right center field in the 7th that brought the Blue Jays to within 1. They have now tied it. So the left-hander Ramos serves it up and in, ball 1. In this 8th inning, Melky Cabrera opened with a double to right. Jose Bautista then doubled into the left field corner. That chased home Cabrera to tie the game. Encarnacion singled to right, moving Jose to third. And now Aaron Sebia just struck out for the inning's first out. Ramos is ready. Kicks. Fastball way up inside. 2 balls and no strikes. And Ramos there with 2 pitches that really had no idea of getting close to home plate.
Right here is the one thing that Adam Lind's going to try to do, and that he's got to try to hit the ball hard, but double play is the one thing that could really damage this situation. He's got to try to lift the ball maybe and score the runner at third.
The 2-0 pitch is high, ball 3, and Ramos has a distinct edge here being left-handed against Lind, who's had a troublesome career against left-handers. In fact, Rajay Davis has hit very well, not only against left-handed pitching, but Rajay in his last 13 games hitting .304 and has the speed to perhaps break up a double play. But John Gibbons is elected here to go with Adam, and a first strike in here makes it 3-1 now from Ramos. These are always the discussions that take place after a game, second guessed, and especially if you lose, and that's where the Blue Jays have been this year for the most part, 12-21. A lot of decisions and things have not gone well, but magnified when you do not win or score runs. So the Blue Jays here trying to have Adam give the team the lead. Next pitch, pop foul, back out of play, third base side over the Blue Jays dugout, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, you know, this game is still tied, so I'm sure John Gibbons looking at Rajay Davis as a potential pinch hitter or a pinch runner. He's also got Emilio Bonifacio as a pinch runner or a pinch hitter. But right now, he's depending on Adam Lind to try to put the ball in the outfield.
Darren Oliver starts to get loose. Steve Delabar finished the 7th inning, leaving a double on. We're in the 8th. Ramos ready. The runners lead at first and third. Full count pitch. Ground ball hit out to shortstop. Escobar takes it to the bag. 1 back to first, and the double play completes the inning. So the Rays hold the Blue Jays to 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Blue Jays 4, the Rays 4. Brought to you by Home Hardware. This is the Blue Jays Radio Network.
When the job calls for
Jerry Howarth along with Jack Morris, Mike Wellner, our engineer Tom Young, and Derek Randeo back in our Toronto studios. A 4-4 game now as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Left-handed hitting Matt Joyce to pinch hit here for the right-handed hitting Sean Rodriguez. Joyce hitting .212. He takes it inside, ball 1, but he has hit 6 home runs, driven in 9, and off the bench 2 for 4. Now left-hander Brett Cecil starts to warm up down the left field line in that Blue Jays bullpen. Brandon Gomes working in the Rays pen down the right field line. Now Joe Peralta has replaced Gomes, who was up last inning, and Peralta, who pitched here last night, is warming up here a night later. Delabar's pitch outside, ball 3.
Well, this is where Steve Delabar's has got to reach down and make sure he throws a strike. Don Gibbons got Brett Lawrie playing out in shallow right field as the shift is on. You just can't afford to walk the leadoff man here in the 8th inning.
And the 3-0 pitch, that is in for a strike. Now, this is very similar to Cesar Ramos, who came on. He went 3-0 on Adam Lind, threw a strike, and then eventually induced Adam to hit into the inning-ending double play with runners at first and third. We'll see how Delabar finishes it off here. On deck, James Loney, left-handed hitter. The stretch. Here it comes. It is inside, ball 4. And Joyce off the bench trots down to first base, representing the game's go-ahead run. Well, Mike, what else is up on that Sportsnet out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by StubHub?
Well, the Boston Red Sox are getting thumped home to Minnesota. The Twins lead at 6-0 now in the top of the 9th. Ryan Doman has his first home run of the season. Royals and Baltimore tied at 3. Top of the 8th, Alex Gordon tied it up with his 4th home run.
Now, Esmail Rogers, the right-hander, joins Cecil down the left field line in the Blue Jays pen. Here's Loney, left-handed hitter, 1 for 3, a single, and he scored a run. He lofts one foul off to the left, back out of play.
Right there, Steve Delabar getting ahead in the count. That's what he's got to do. He's one of the guys that, I think there's a stat somebody was telling me today, he's got more outs in the strike zone or more least amount of contact with pitches in the strike zone. A ridiculous number.
And here, whereas Adam Lind just hit into a double play to close the top of the 8th after the Blue Jays tied it at 4. Now it's Delabar looking to have Loney hit into a double play, but he's hit into only 1 in 31 games. A throw over to first base, and diving back in safely is Joyce.
Houston Astros trying to snap a 6-game slide, lead the Angels 6-4 in the top of the 7th. Chris Carter has his 7th homer. It was a 3-run shot.
Delabar set. Joyce the lead. Does not go. Pitch hit on the ground to first. Edwin has it. Spins. Goes to second, 1. Back to first base. Call it 2. A beautiful double play and turned nicely out around the bag by Meiser Torres.
Well, again, Edwin just absolutely shining defensively. He was able to keep his head down on the ball and catch it first. Then he had great feet work. He did the shift. He turned. He planted. He threw a strike down to Meiser, who was able to turn the double play. So really good defense right there.
That Blue Jays double play brought to you by Schneider's Hot Dogs and Villaggio Buns. A quick 2 outs brings up Jose Molina. A swing and a foul back, strike 1. Jose was trying to give the Rays the lead there on one swing. 4-4 the score. 10 hits apiece. No errors. And 1 man down. Jay Happ hit in the head with a line drive off the bat of Desmond Jennings back in the 2nd inning. And after attended to for a long time, taken off the field on a stretcher. He's in hospital here in St. Pete as Molina hits a high fly ball into shallow right. Coming on, another Jose, last name Bautista. He makes the catch. The inning is over. We go to the 9th. The Blue Jays 4, the Rays 4. Brought to you by Home Hardware. This is the Blue Jays Radio Network.
Take us out to the ball game. Watch your Blue Jays live while you listen to the game here. Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Baseball season is in full swing right now, and so are the deals at Toronto's best Mazda dealer, Mazda of Toronto. Stop by and check out the hottest new players in Mazda's 2013 lineup, including the game-changing Mazda 6 and the economical Mazda 3 Skyactiv. Mazda of Toronto's entire inventory is priced to move, with 0% financing for up to 84 months, or 0% lease rates on select 2012 and 2013 models. Don't strike out. Visit Mazda of Toronto on Yonge, just south of Steeles.
Stay tuned after the game for tonight's game-changing moment presented by Mike's Hard Lemonade. Change the game with Mike's. Matt Joyce stays in the game to play left field after pinch hitting for Sean Rodriguez. Steve Delabar survived the leadoff walk there in the bottom of the 8th inning. A double play and a fly ball to right got him out of harm's way. Now, Colby Rasmus, who is 1 for 3, but oh, what a one. A 2-run home run to right center back in the 7th inning as the Blue Jays got back in the game, trailing 4-3. Steps up here against right-hander Joel Peralta. In 15 games, 0-1, ERA 1.32. He came on last night, also worked in the 7th inning, and then Peralta is ready on the mound. And the pitch to Rasmus, that's in there for a strike. Peralta pitched into the 8th inning last night and was picked up by the closer, Fernando Rodney. Now, it was kind of interesting in looking back as far as where baseball is now, because Rodney this year had not pitched anything other than the 9th inning regarding his saves. And he had 4 of them. And, of course, the blown save last night. Here's a pitch line down the right field line. That's going to hook, but hook foul. As it rattles around in the right field corner, it's Casey Jansen now will start to get up and join Esmail Rogers. If the Blue Jays do not score, Rogers will pitch to the Rays in the bottom of the 9th, more than likely. And if they do score, then the closer Jansen would come on. But last night, first time this year, that Rodney pitched in the 8th inning, and then in the 9th inning, he couldn't close the deal. Gave up the home run to J.P.R. Ancibia, the blown save, his first this year. And there's a little bit more to the story than meets the eye regarding that and what happened. Strike 2 pitch, swing and a miss. Down goes Rasmus, 1 away, as here comes Meiser Turris. Last season, when Rodney had his big year, saving 48 games, only twice did he pitch in the 8th inning. Everything else was in the 9th. Well, now this season, so far, not including 3-inning saves in blowout games, there have been 237 saves in the major leagues. And guess how many of those saves have been more than 3 outs? Only 7. That's where the game has gone. With the setup man in the 8th and the closer basically just the 9th inning. Here's Meiser. The pitch driven to right field deep. Back for it, Zobrist going back. He's at the wall. He jumps. There she goes. Home run, Meiser Turris. The Blue Jays have taken a 5-4 lead here at Tropicana Field in the top of the 9th inning as the little Mighty Mite has hit his 3rd. Matching his uniform number, much like last night when Aaron Sevia hit his 9th in the 9th, wearing number 9.
What a hit for Meiser right there. He's been swinging a lot better. He led off his first at-bat with a double, and there he gets the go-ahead run. Emilio Bonifacio is now going to hit for Mark DeRosa. But what a game this would be for the Blue Jays. Whoever wins this game looks like they could pick up a game on first place Boston tonight.
Here's Emilio, and he takes ball 1. And, Jack, I want you to address this, too, because we just made reference to it last inning. J-Hap was hit in the head in the 2nd inning. A horrific injury, a line drive right off the bat of Desmond Jennings, and he was hurt badly, taken off the field on a stretcher. At the time, when the inning was over, it was 4-1 Rays. There's a swing and a miss. The Blue Jays then scored 2 in the 7th. Rasmus with a 2-run home run. A run in the 8th to tie it. Doubles by Cabrera and Bautista. And now is Turris home run. What's that now mean to that dugout? Everybody up on the top railing thinking probably not so much the score, but for J-Hap.
Well, I think it's for both, really, Jerry. You know, the one thing you can do in a situation like this is do the best to win the game. And, you know, then you can dedicate the game to the guy. But you know, I'm sure his teammates are going to go over and check up on him if they can, and certainly there's going to be a lot of interest about how he's doing.
Emilio takes a strike, 1 and 2. Well, it's one of those, again, unbelievable stories here tonight. Last night down 7-0 end of 3. Mark Burley kept the Blue Jays in the game, and they won it 8-7. And here tonight down 4-1 end of 2 without their starter, rallying here to take now a 5-4 lead in the top of the 9th. Bonifacio swings and he misses. Oh, he just got a piece of it. Just got a piece of it to stay up there. So it's still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, due up the ninth hitter, Yunel Escobar, and then the top of the order, Desmond Jennings and Ryan Roberts against the closer, Casey Jansen. Bonifacio gets back in the box. Emilio is hitting 162, and in great part because he's had a tough go here of late. 3 for his last 28. Trying to solve the right-hander, Joel Peralta. 1 out, nobody on top of the ninth inning. Bonifacio pulls one foul past first base coach Dwayne Murphy. And probably if you're Bonifacio, you're probably even asking yourself, with his career, he's only 27, a good contact hitter. How could I have struck out 24 times and walked only 3 times, 27 games into this season? And here just trying to protect and stave off a 25th strikeout and try to reach. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss, couldn't do it. And on that high fastball, he's gone, 2 down.
Brett Lawrie.
The Blue Jays with a 5-4 lead. All the runs saved for 1 have come on home runs. Adam Lind, a home run to right in the second inning with 1 out, nobody on, his first home run of the year. Colby Rasmus with a 2-run home run to right center, his 6th home run. And back-to-back 2-run home runs here in this series. Doubles by Cabrera and Bautista, and now the home run by Meiser as Turris here in the 9th. Brett Lawrie takes a first pitch breaking ball for a strike. Jansen, who came into the game last night and had pitched in only 3 games in 15 days and had a 1-2-3 quick 9th inning, a strikeout and 2 groundouts, is ready to pitch here in back-to-back games. Fastball swung on and missed, took something off it. Nice splitter there, looked like a fastball, arm speed of a fastball, but it didn't come out that way, and it's 0-2. You used a split-fingered pitch quite a bit. You probably took great pride in pitches just like that.
Well, it's a pitch where the hitter sees fastball's arm speed, but the ball dips like a curveball.
Pitch it on the ground up the middle, a base hit on an 0-2 count to Brett Lawrie. And there, Jack Morris, have to think Peralta tried to get a little cute. This is the second time we've seen this in the inning where he's ready to go and kind of works from the stretch like most relievers do. And then much like Esmail Rogers, he speeds it up.
Yeah, he's trying to quick pitch him and get him the elements of surprise, maybe get him to be tardy. That time Brett Lawrie just waiting for it. He left the ball over the middle, and Brett finally got his first hit of the night.
And have to think John Gibbons here will give Lawrie the green light and try and steal second base, where another hit can add to a 5-4 Blue Jays lead here in the top of the 9th against the Rays. Cabrera, switch hitter, batting left-handed. Lawrie the lead. The stretch. Brett does not go. Melky takes outside, ball 1.
Well, a lot of times the runner is given the green light. They are free to go whenever they feel like they get a good jump. But in baseball today, most guys just don't like running.
Well, here Brett takes his lead, held on by Loney. Cabrera 2 for 4, a single and a double and a run scored. The stretch. Pitch on the way, belted to right down the line. Fair, a base hit. That goes all the way to the corner. Lawrie digs hard for third base. He's waved home by Luis Rivera. Here's the throw to the plate. He slides. He scores without a tag. And the Blue Jays go out in front 6-4 on a double by Melky Cabrera.
Well, what great hustle by Brett Lawrie. What good hitting, timely hitting by Melky, who picks up his 3rd straight hit and 2nd straight double, 2nd straight key hit of the game, really. I mean, these are the insurance runs that just make you breathe a little bit if you're Casey Jansen down there in the bullpen.
Cabrera with 2 hits yesterday and 3 hits Sunday against Seattle. He and his Turris have really picked up the pace. For Melky in his last 4 games, not including tonight's 3-4-5 effort, was hitting .412, 7 for 17. Here's Bautista. We're in the 9th. 2 outs. Peralta's pitch is inside.
And Jose's had a good night. 2 for 4 with 2 doubles and an RBI.
So Cabrera at second base over his last 5 games now, hitting .455. Bautista tonight, 2 doubles, 2 groundouts. The last double drove in a run. That was when he drove home Melky's double, quickly to tie at 4-4 in the 8th. An inning later, Peralta set. Jose looks it over low and outside, 2-0. Well, it's no secret that the Blue Jays offense had really gone dormant. A stretch there at home, losing 4 in a row with 3 runs scored on 22 hits over 4 games. And now the lumber has come out of the bat rack. 10 runs, 15 hits Sunday to beat the Mariners 10-2. 8 runs, 12 hits last night to overcome a 7-0 deficit and beat the Rays here 8-7. And tonight, 6 runs on 13 hits. A look at second. Twice. Jose takes a pitch, bounce to the plate, and with first base open, he probably doesn't expect to get much to hit, and he hasn't had anything to hit. The top of the order, Laurie and Cabrera, 4 hits between them, 2 runs scored. Adam Lind in the DH spot, a home run, a double, 2 runs scored. Colby Rasmus with the 1 big swing, a 2-run home run that got the Blue Jays back in the game, down 4-3. Pitch is high, ball 4, and here comes Edwin. Runners at first and second. Encarnacion, 1 for 3, a single to right, and he's drawn a walk. Here comes acting manager Dave Martinez. So, walk to the hill. Joe Madden was ejected in this game back, arguing a play at home plate when Sean Rodriguez scored from third base on a bunted ball by Molina, but Marty Foster said, no, you're out. And when Marty sees that later, he'll say, you know what, not quite sure if I got that right. He'll probably admit, no, I didn't get it right. Now here the first base umpire just stopped the pitcher from coming in. The Rays looked like they were going to their bullpen for Brandon Gomes, and he had sprinted toward the chalk line, and the umpire went out and put his hand up and said, no, not yet. Your acting manager has not made the decision yet.
Now he is going to make it. But, yeah, he went all the way back down to the bullpen. He wanted to have a long talk with Peralta about that, I guess. And either case, now they're making that pitching change.
Well, Jack, now Gomes is going to be winded running these sprints back and forth.
Well, maybe he's just trying to get his heart rate up a little bit.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Rays fans have lost heart in this one. They're leaving quickly, and there are only 10,273 here. The Blue Jays have scored a couple here in the 9th inning, and down 4-1 end of 2 without their starter, Jay Happ's hit on the head with a line drive off the bat of Desmond Jennings in that 2nd inning, have rallied here to lead at 6-4. So as Gomes, the right-hander, gets loose, Mike, how about another look at that Sportsnet out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by StubHub?
Well, we'll start Johnson in 1992.
Brandon Gomes, 13 games in, 0-1, ERA 5.56. The Blue Jays here bring up Edwin Encarnacion, 2 runs in the 9th, leading Tampa Bay 6-4, 2 on and 2 outs. The pitch is low and outside to him, ball 1. Edwin has struck out twice, walked and singled to right. Joel Peralta gets roughed up here in this 9th inning. He struck out Rasmus to start it, but then Meiser whacked a home run to right for a 5-4 lead. And after a strikeout, a pinch hitter Emilio Bonifacio, Brett Laurie singled and Melky Cabrera doubled him home. Edwin takes a fastball strike on the inside corner. It's 1-1. Casey Jansen jumping up and down. He's high energy, always has been. He's finished his warm-ups. It's like he's skipping rope, but there's no rope.
Like a heavyweight fighter ready to go.
He is one great young man, Casey Jansen. Gotta love him. 1-1 pitch is in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Jack, he's able to harness all that energy and turn it into closing games. And Casey, going back to last year when he inherited the role in May, has saved 30 of his last 32 opportunities. Opponents have hit 167 off him. And his ERA over that stretch, 1.82.
Well, right there, Edwin Encarnacion is arguing with the umpire. Bad situation to be arguing. Doesn't matter what happens here. Don't argue.
Another pitch, another foul off to the right, 1-2. No, you've already put money in the bank.
Yeah, and you know, it's just pointless to me. He's got to understand the situation. I don't, you know, even if it is a terrible, terrible call, understand the baseball situation, because right now, all eyes are on him. All the umpires are watching this. The umpire, the home plate umpire, could have thrown him out of the game.
That home plate umpire, Marty Foster, has already missed one call where a Ray scored, but he called Sean Rodriguez out. That's pretty big now, looking back at this one. We said it might be. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Edwin slams his bat and his helmet, and he's thrown out of the game.
He wanted to get thrown out. That was just foolish.
Encarnacion now will go chest to chest with the plate umpire, Marty Foster. And here comes John Gibbons, but Edwin just lost his temper, lost his control. Not a good move, and that means the Blue Jays now will have to use their designated hitter, Adam Lind, to come out and play first base. 2 runs in, a big 2 here in the ninth. We go to the bottom half. Casey Jansen comes on. The Blue Jays 6, the Rays 4. Brought to you by Home Hardware. This is the Blue Jays Radio Network.
Back here at Tropicana Field, getting you set for the bottom of the ninth inning with the Blue Jays up 6-4 on the Rays. Letting you know that we will have the Blue Jays talk after the game, so get those dialing fingers ready. And then after the Blue Jays talk is over, on our flagship station, Jeff Salmon on Sportsnet tonight will talk to Rob Vito of Unequal Technologies, a manufacturer of protective headgear for Major League pitchers. That's Sportsnet tonight with Jeff Salmon, 11 Eastern on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and Sportsnet590.ca.
Thank you, Mike. And as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning here, Casey Jansen comes on, and he also comes into the lineup hitting fourth. So Casey can tell his grandkids that there was a big league game, he hit cleanup. Edwin Encarnacion responsible for that. He was ejected. The DH Adam Lind comes out of the dugout to play first base. So the pitcher comes, as they say, above the line, and that's Jansen hitting in the fourth spot. But here Casey's interested in one thing, 3 outs to preserve a 6-4 lead over the Rays. Yunel Escobar first pitch swinging, lines one to right. There is Bautista, makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. We are live from the Sportsnet 590 The Fan broadcast booth, brought to you by the new Cannon Rebel T5i. What a pitch, what an out.
Strike 1. That's the best pitch the game's ever seen as far as pitching's concerned. He throws it. Yunel hits it right to Jose for the first out.
Now Jansen gets leadoff hitter Desmond Jennings. A strike on the outside corner. Jansen comes in here. 8 for 8 saving games, ERA 0.82 in 11 games. He's worked 11 1/3 innings. He's allowed 1 run on 3 hits. Fastball paints the outside corner. Strike 2. How about 12 strikeouts, no walks?
Phenomenal control. He's a special kind of guy, and he's not even at 100% yet.
1-2 pitch is high, now 1-2.
Just has a real good idea what he's doing with a baseball in his hand.
Fidgets on the mound, high energy, able to control it. Back he comes, a breaking ball in the dirt, a curveball. Casey, to reiterate, going back to last year when he took over the closer's role in May, 30 of 32 saves he has converted, and he has struck out 9.5 hitters per 9 innings. He goes and looks in over that glove of his, the one he wants from Aaron Sebia. The pitch on the way there. Fastball, strike 3 called. Inside corner, showing he can pitch to both sides of the plate. 2 down.
They just froze Desmond Jennings because of his location. JP doing a good job of framing that ball. And 2 up, 2 down, just like clockwork for Casey Jansen.
Kelly Johnson will bat for Ryan Roberts. Kelly's hit safely in 7 of his last 8 games. Emilio Bonifacio's out at second base. The pitch to Kelly, a strike on the inside corner. It was Bonifacio who came on to pinch hit and strike out for second baseman Mark DeRosa. So Emilio on the right-hand side with Lind at first. 2 down, bottom of the ninth. The Blue Jays 6, the Rays 4. Blue Jays were down 4-1, end of 2. They've out hit the Rays 13-10. Strike one pitch outside. Johnson comes up here hitting .264. He's hit 4 home runs and driven in 16. Fastball strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Kelly arguing now with the plate umpire, Marty Foster. Now, Marty just tossed Edwin Encarnacion. That was in a fit of anger, throwing his helmet and bat. So Johnson steps back in there. Casey looks in. Goes into his windup. Here it comes. Off-speed pitch, dribble to the mound. Casey has it. The lob underhand to first. Ball game. The Blue Jays have made it 3 straight for the first time this year. They have beaten the Tampa Bay Rays 6-4. They have won the first 2 games of this series, and now that one record that the Rays were closing in on in the American League regarding 17 consecutive home series wins against the Blue Jays, that too has come to an end with this win here tonight. And to cap it off, Jack Morris, Jay Happ is hit in the head with a line drive in the 2nd inning. They took him off the field on a stretcher, and now the Blue Jays can say this one, coming back from a 4-1 deficit, was for him.
Well, it's just a good team win again. They fought their way back. I think it's really more a case where, you look the way the game scoring was. They scored 2 in the 7th. They scored 1 in the 8th. They scored 2 in the 9th to win it. And I really believe the 3rd, 4th, 5th innings were just kind of shock innings for the ball club. It's just one of those deals where your teammates taken off in a stretcher and you're just having a tough time to really put your feelings together again. They were able to do it and come back and win another come-from-behind game.
And look at the offense just to finish up here. As we said, 6 runs, 13 hits tonight, 8 runs, 12 hits last night, 10 runs, 15 hits Sunday. The Blue Jays offense has finally started to awaken.
No question. I think it's really helped their defense. And what again, Jerry, how many times have we said this, but you tip your hat to the bullpen again tonight. They come in and they shut the door.
Brad Lincoln, 2 1/3 scoreless innings. Aaron Loop, 2 1/3 scoreless innings. Steve Delabar comes on to work 2 scoreless innings. And Casey Jansen with a 1-2-3 ninth for his 9th save, picking up the win for Steve Delabar, who ends up with his 3rd win. Delabar is 3-1. The loser is Joel Peralta. He is 0-2. He came on in the 9th inning, and with 1 out, Meister's Tourist drilled a home run to right field, his 3rd. The Blue Jays' 3rd home run tonight, following Adam Lynn's 1st of the year and Colby Rasmus' 6th, and that was all she wrote. The Blue Jays 6, the Rays 4. We'll be back with more right after this, brought to you by Home Hardware. This is the Blue Jays Radio Network. St. Petersburg, Florida. Oh, what a night for the Toronto Blue Jays. Jay Happ and a ball club that rallies from a 4-1 deficit and the loss of their starting pitcher to win it 6-4 with 2 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th to tie it, and 2 in the 9th to win it. Blue Jays 6 runs, 13 hits, no errors, 7 left. Rays 4 runs, 10 hits, no errors, and 7 left. Our post-game show is brought to you by your Honda dealers. The winner is Steve Delabar. He's 3-1. Casey Jansen 9 for 9 in saves now, and back-to-back saves here, each 1, 2, 3 innings. The loser is Joel Peralta. He coughed up 2 in the 9th inning. He falls to 0-2. 10,273 see the game. It takes 3 hours and 23 minutes to play. The Blue Jays, for the first time this year, have a 3-game winning streak. They're 13-21 overall, 2-0 this year against the Rays. In May, they creeped within 1 of the 500 mark. They are 3-4. On the road, they win their 6th. They are 6-9. And for Tampa Bay, they've now lost 2 in a row here. They're 14-18, 8-6 at home. The Blue Jays 6, the Rays 4. Back with more right after this, brought to you by Home Hardware. This is the Blue Jays Radio Network.
Back here in St. Petersburg, the Blue Jays beat the Tampa Bay Rays 6-4. We are still waiting for an update on Jay Happ's health. Last we'd heard he was in hospital, he was conscious. And again, if we find out anything while the Jays talk is on, we will let you know. We will be Blue Jays talking it up, taking your phone calls. We didn't have a chance to do it last night. Won't have a chance to do it tomorrow. So get those fingers dialing at 416-870-0590. Star 590 on the cell, long distance, 1-888-666-0590. We'll take your calls very soon. But first, a little bit more from Jerry Howarth and Jack Morris.
Thank you, Mike. And the afterglow here of a Blue Jays 6-4 win over the Rays. It's time now for our game-changing moment, brought to you by Mike's Hard Lemonade. Change the game with Mike's. Well, let's go to the ninth inning. The Blue Jays had tied it up at 4 in the eighth on doubles by Melky Cabrera and Jose Bautista. But going to the ninth inning with the game tied, Joel Peralta came on, struck out Colby Rasmus. And then in a 2-run ninth inning, Meiser Turris got it started. The Blue Jays 6, the Rays 4. Back with more right after this, brought to you by Home Hardware. This is the Blue Jays Radio Network.